Welcome back to We Got Goosebumps, a podcast dedicated to the landmark horror series for children, written by R.L. Stine back in the 90s. Oops! I'm Dylan.
And I'm not Becca. I'm Travis. How's it going?
Oh, shit! On today's bonus episode, we'll be taking turns summarizing each of the short stories from the 2024 collection, Stinetinglers 3. Again! But by again, I don't mean we're going to be doing...
We're going to redo the first 5. It wasn't
like
fun.
R.L. Stine shoulda. Razzmatazz.
Hey, man, word on the street, the second half, better half. That's word on the street.
I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but I want to say that motherfucker buried the lead with 5 shitty stories and then just buried as usual underneath them. Like, he's just like, I don't want the fucking riffraff to read these books anymore. I just want the dedicated fans. If they can get through these 5, then they're allowed to read the second 5. If you don't like me on my worst day, you don't deserve me on my best day, is R.L. Stine's motto. I've been drinking for 6 hours, so I'm real heated.
I feel like if I were, this goes without saying, but if I were writing a little anthology, I think I'd put some of the juice toward the front. At least the first story. I'd make it pretty good.
I'm pretty sure I started off the podcast last time saying, like, if this is the fucking best, yeah. One of the stories that, like, Stephen King starts, I believe it's Nightmare and Dreamscapes with, one of his classic short story collections, is The Fucking Mist. Or, I don't know, The Body.
That's a lead-off hitter.
Yeah. Like, the fucking choice meats. Some choice cuts here to, like, make you salivate, and so you don't pay attention to all the garbage you're eating in the middle. Like, come on, man. But R.L. Stine, I think he decided to go completely against the grain and hid his best behind his worst. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I don't want to spoil it.
I don't even know.
Guys.
Does he put them in order, or does he send 10 stories in a Google Doc to somebody and says, deal with it, and then they figure it out? That's what I kind of believe happened.
Yeah, I feel like that's more likely. It's just like a 100-page document gets sent off somewhere. I think you're being a little optimistic saying it's a Google Doc. I feel like it's an old style manuscript bound up in like parchment paper and baling twine, and there's like paste outs and cut, and there's like clearly things that were written 20 years ago on yellowed paper. They're shoved in there in the middle. And it
burn
ends
marks
up on
from the cigarettes he put out on it. Yeah.
Coffee cup stains, just ring
coffee
after
cup
ring
stains.
of coffee cup stains.
Heck
Just
yeah,
based
dude.
on how phones work in the Goosebumps universe, I'm a little, I don't know.
You're right. The technology. You're right. Google Doc didn't happen. You're right. You're right.
I feel like if he used a cell phone, he would disappear like Ed and Edna.
Did we get any listeners to comment on either our episode or their thoughts of the book
Not
so far?
On our email, but we did hear from Spongy, which he's been a long-time listener back on Twitter, and back when I checked the Blue Sky a little more frequently than I do now. We used to hear from Spongy a little bit more often, but now that I'm checking the Blue Sky again, hello, Spongy.
Hello.
I feel like Spongy kind of agrees with us. He says the second half kind of cooks compared to the first half, still fine overall, but some of the early stuff is pretty standard, which is, I think, nice. I think nice is a nice thing, saying it's standard. Although the first still has Stray Dog, which is one of the best of this one, which, Spongy knows.
He liked the Stray Dog, huh?
Come on.
How'd you like that Stray Dog?
Maybe we're the wrong audience. Maybe
we could be
41-year-old men, 41 and 40-year-old men are the wrong audience for this children's book of...
Wait, aren't we both 40?
Brother, I have told you my birthday. We're so many months
It's on
past
Halloween, isn't it?
No, you're thinking of Pam. Yeah, out of the two of us, I should have the October birthday. No, Pam's pretty spooky too, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, you're both kind of spooky. Yeah, well, maybe we are the wrong audience for it, but we were the writer audience, the writer one for the second half that hit a little bit better, I will say. Maybe it's the contrast of the two halves, Tale of the Two Cities, but I came out a little happier in the end.
Right, this is the best of times. We've been through the worst of times. It's going to be good.
I think so. It all starts with the magic is in the hat, which you think, well, that's probably giving it away, isn't it? R.L. Stine writes, when my brother Bill was 5, my parents had a birthday party for him, and they hired a clown to come entertain all the 5-year-olds. I remember the clown very well. He had black circles painted around his eyes, springy red hair that stood straight out at his ears, and fake teeth that poked down over his chin. Sounds horrifying.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like
the
a clown.
black circles under the eyes was already a terrifying place to start. Like, red hair, black circle. He just sounds... Oh, shit, he sounds like that fucking crazy-ass lady from Weapons. Have you seen Weapons?
Dude, yeah. Yep. I think that's who it was. I remember him because he wasn't funny. He was terrifying. He carried a horn that he squeezed and honked in everyone's ears, and he sprayed water on all the kids with a squirt bottle. No one laughed. Some kids started to cry. A few ran out of the room. He was scary! That was in all caps. I remembered that clown when I wrote this story about a boy who wants to entertain at a birthday party. And I wish R.L. Stine had written that story about a demented clown that tortures children. That sounds a little more spooky than what we got, but this isn't so bad.
I ended up, because this time I did read your stories as well. By the time we got to the actual birthday party, I was on board with the story, just how upsetting things got. But we'll get there.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun. It's one of his fun rides. He's in full form here. So we got Brady, and Brady, 12-year-old wannabe clown, and he is asked by Mrs. Barnes, who I believe may be a neighbor, to come over and entertain 12 5-year-olds for her daughter, little Jenny's birthday. And Brady, he's pretty into magic. He's already got a nickname for himself. He calls himself Brady the Amazing. And the deal with Mrs. Barnes, $40. Brady's like, dude, I would do this for free. I just love clowning. I'm so into it, dude. I'll accept your money, but just so you know, I provide this service to the community. I love clowning. And she said, okay, but no water tricks, all right? Because I don't want you to ruin my furniture. I got a nice couch in plastic. It's not coming out of the plastic, all right? But if it does come out of the plastic and you get it wet, I will skin you alive. That's basically what she says.
Yeah.
So Brady finds his 6-year-old sister, little Susie. So these little sisters, man, you got to be careful around them. They're crazy. She's in his room snooping in his closet, which is, God, I wouldn't want any 6-year-old to find what 12-year-old me was hiding in a closet.
I do love Susie. Susie's great.
She's fun. She's pretty fun. She's a kidder.
She's also the most terrifying part of this whole story.
Kind of. Well, she got into his closet. That's where he keeps his bunny, his little magic bunny that he keeps in his hat. You know how the magicians are. You know that David Copperfield always yanking the rabbits out of the hat.
Mm-hmm.
She took it, and there's a bit of a tussle. And he gets it back from her, and he's like, "Listen, I want to try some of my tricks on you. You know, you're 6. You're not much older than the 5-year-olds I'll be entertaining. Let me try some of this on you." She's like, "All right." So he tries a card trick on her, and he's like, "All right, Susie, remember your card. All right, there you go. You got it. All right, remember that. Okay, don't forget it." Then he goes through a series of, "Is this your card? No. Is this your card? No. Is this your card? No." He's like, "Well, what was your card?" She's like, "I don't remember." And he's like, "Motherfuck!" I swear to God, Susie.
Because he's got the birthday party and the talent show. He's got a one-to.
Yeah.
I love how he's basically taken the entire Night of Living Dummy thing, where like she does the ventriloquist act at the talent show at the school, and then she does not at the school. It's like at the fucking mall opening, whatever, and then she does another one right after that. But he's just like shoved it all into one small story. Like, he's just getting this whole thing into one small story.
He does, and they don't even really bring up the talent show until, like, it's going. But Susie offers to show him a magic trick. She's like, let me show you a magic trick, Brady. And she takes his card deck and just throws them up in the air, and they go flying around the room. And she's like, I'm magic because I just made you pick those up. Like, oh, you little scamp. You little scamp.
There's so many moments where he's like, what are you doing here? And she's just like, I don't know. He's like, what? She doesn't even have a good lie ready. She's just like, I don't fucking know. I'm just here. Bye.
I'm just being a jerk. So on Friday, so they got this party for little Jenny on Saturday. Now it's Friday, day before the party. Brady, he's a part of the school talent show. All right, big talent show. And he's called to the stage, and boy, does some hilarity ensue. Because, of course, he's going to do his magic. So he comes out on stage, and he goes, welcome to my world of magic, I exclaimed. My voice squeaked a little on the word magic. Welcome to my world of magic. My mouth felt so dry I couldn't swallow. I set my top hat down on the table on the stage. Then I raised the wand. It's a trick wand I bought at a magic store. When I press a hidden button on the side, it droops like a wilting flower. It looks totally funny. I wanted to start my act with a laugh. Magic wand, obey my commands, I shouted. I pushed the button. The wand didn't droop. Obey my commands, I repeated. I pushed the button again. Nope, it didn't bend. It stayed straight and hard.
Stop.
The kids watching were silent. All eyes were on the wand. It had worked perfectly at home. What was wrong with it now? I twisted it in my hand and tried to push the button again. But my hand had grown cold and sweaty, and the wand slipped out and clattered on the stage floor. Magic wand, don't try to escape, I shouted. I tried to make it seem like part of the act.
Good call. That was actually good. That's actually like good performer, like make it part of the act. Like I liked Brady. I thought he had a good head on his shoulders during this shit show of a performance.
He's a pretty likable bumper kid where you don't feel like the whole time he's bringing it on himself because he's stupid.
Well,
until the end. But when I bent down to pick up the wand, I bumped the table with my shoulder. The table fell over and went crashing to the floor. My top hat slid halfway across the stage. I know the kids in the audience didn't mean to be cruel, but how could they not laugh their heads off watching me stumbling and bumbling? Brady the amazing klutz. Give him a chance, Miss Rick shouted, stepping out from the side of the stage. Give Brady a chance, everyone.
Oh, brutal. The teacher had to intervene. Stop laughing at him.
That's the worst, man. I can feel how hot and, like, sweaty he is already.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you feel that flush, like, oh. Oh, here we go. My face felt hot. I knew it was bright red. I reached down for the top hat and accidentally kicked it off the stage. Here we go. This is an R.L. Stine staple right here. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
A low moan escaped my throat. Oh. The laughter rang off the auditorium walls.
No, you didn't do it right.
Oh, that's right. So I never know what the difference between a low moan and a high moan is. Kids were shrieking with laughter, slapping their knees. I wanted to jump off the stage, run up the aisle, run away, and never come back, but I had to go on. A kid handed me my top hat. Miss Rick stood the table back up. Maybe you should try a comedy act, she whispered. Cruel. For my last trick, I shouted. That got more laughter, I guess, because I hadn't done my first trick. For my last trick, I said, I will do the famous rabbit in a hat trick made popular by magicians around the world. And the trick, this trick's, I'm not reading anymore. The trick's supposed to be easy. It's a little pocket inside the hat holds a stuffed rabbit. And then he just pull it out, then voila. Look, now I'm holding a rabbit. Except when he does, he pulls out a pair of his own underpants. Susie! She must have been she was up to something in that closet. She switched the rabbit with the underwear. So, to me, that's funny.
Yeah.
But he's embarrassed.
I feel like, because I'm stupid and I didn't remember the first time we were reading these stories, I was just like, oh, clearly what R.L. Stine was talking about has some bearing on what's going to happen in the story. So I assumed that Brady was going to be like, I'm a shit magician. I should be a clown. Because this sounds like the greatest clown act a child could have ever inadvertently come up with. That's not where the story goes, though. So,
yeah, you know
it
what?
does
You're
go
right.
to a birthday party and ties it in that way.
Yeah, based on that inspiration he gave, we needed more clowns. You're right.
Yes, I was expecting clowns, but he went with birthday parties, which I guess is fair because that was.
Has he
also
done
a
any
big
creepy
part of it.
clowns?
That is weird. Man, he's genuinely terrified of clowns.
What if
and
he's
he doesn't
legit?
want to write
Yeah.
about them? Because I don't
You know?
think we've ever. What the fuck? Did he
We've
never?
had some kids be clowns, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was a
I don't
thing.
think he's ever had
But no
a
spooky
scary
clowns.
clown motif. You know, he's had the dummies, the ventriloquist dummies. But
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Well, again, he leaves the stage embarrassed because he just yanked his underpants out of his hat on stage. And he thinks,
Yes, he
well,
did.
maybe the party will go better. The party tomorrow will go better, okay? But no, it got worse, actually. The next act was another magician, Deidre Harrison. And Deidre, she's amazing, dude. Brady didn't even know she did magic. That's how good she is at magic. No one even knew she was good at it.
I will say this. Deirdre, I remember us reading a Goosebumps book not too long. It was like from last season. I was just like, I haven't heard that name in like
You're
30 years. I feel like that was a name I heard when I was a child, but I've never even seen it spelled. I was like, oh, Deirdre. And then all of a sudden, R.L. Stine is cracking out his really outdated names again, I feel like. Because, like, again.
If this book hadn't come out in 2024, I would swear to God he listened to the podcast and put a lot of the stuff that we say in this. Because there's a lot of little references. But anyway, it got worse because Deirdre Harrison, amazing at magic. Awesome. She makes her wand dance across the stage without even touching it. She pulled a dove out of a hat. Then she pulled an orange cat out of the same hat. Then she put the cat back into the hat.
Which is the hardest part. Getting a cat
Seriously?
into something?
Can you imagine?
Could you imagine putting a cat back into a cat carrier on stage? Fuck the hat. Just a cat carrier.
I have to cut my cat's legs off to get it to go in anything.
Mm-hmm. As we
Crazy.
all have.
But she returns the orange cat into the hat, waves her wand over it, and then poof, pulls out 2 black cats.
What the
Where's
fuck?
the orange cat? I mean, insane. And to end her act, she puts her top hat on her head, and then she disappears. Crowd goes ape shit, as they should. That was amazing. So now Brady's a little discouraged. He's like, well, fuck, my act tomorrow obviously is doomed because it sucks. It clearly sucks. But you know, I got an idea. So he runs up to Deirdre. Compliments her, says, hey, great magic. That was insane, what you did up there. And she's like, hey, thanks. The magic's all in the hat. And he's like, sure. Yeah, a lot of people say it's all in the shoes or, you know, whatever. I get you. All right, I see what you're saying. But he's like, hey, speaking of, could I borrow that hat for the show tomorrow? It seems like it's like better than my hat, which only holds underpants and occasionally a stuffed rabbit. You seem to got it going on. You were holding a gaggle of cats and a dove. I mean, can I borrow that hat? And she says, no, you cannot. You can't do that. The hat's way too magic. You can't handle this shit, Brady. This hat is so magic. It's so magic. It has AIDS and plays for the Lakers. That's how magic this hat is. And then she runs off to her friends and kind of leaves him there. So he can't be like, but I'll bring it back. Okay. So he sneaks into the art room, which is where I guess she stashed this hat, and he steals it like a son of a bitch. He steals a hat. Back home, he's like, I'm going to practice with this brand new hat. But Susie immediately, being Susie, steals it, runs off. Doesn't matter anyway. Family, they got to go to dinner at Cousin Marty's 2 towns over. He's not going to have time to practice with that hat anyway. All right, which means tomorrow, when it's time for the show, he's not going to have any hat practice with his stolen hat, with his hot hat.
God damn it.
No practice at all. So tomorrow, they get home late, the next night. He's got to go to bed. gets up tomorrow, can't rehearse, heads over to the party. We're at the party, okay? Kids are running around crazy. 5-year-olds are insane, dude. They're just basically small chihuahuas on cocaine. He finally gets their attention, and he gets Jenny, the B-Day girl. He's like, all right, he's got her, and he says, all right, I need you. He has his wand out. He goes, now I want you to blow on the wand. And she did. He pushed the button on the side and made it wilt. Boom. Got that one to work. Kids love it. They love that. Oh, man. They thought that was great. He did it a few more times just to milk it. He said, come on, you blow on that. Whoop, look at that.
I don't want to hear you say anything else about blowing on wands and milking it right now. Like, I'm
so
done with,
sorry.
I
was being purely innocent in that moment. But then it's hat time. It's hat time. All right. You ready? It's hat time. He says, I gazed at a little boy sitting cross-legged behind Jenny. All right, come up and blow on the hat, I said. Let's see if we can make some magic appear. The boy came up, bent over the hat, and blew on it. Then he hurried back to his place. I reached down and stuck my hand deep into the hat. Let's see, I said. Then I let out a shrill scream of pain. Ah! Something bit my hand! The kids roared with laughter. No! I can't get my hand out! I cried. I struggled to tug my hand out from the hat. They laughed even harder. At the back of the room, I saw Mrs. Barnes laugh too. Ow! I let out another cry. Something bit me again! The kids were howling and slapping the floor, but I wasn't trying to be funny. I was serious. Something was biting my hand and I couldn't free it from the hat. I raised my eyes to Mrs. Barnes. Help me! I shouted. It hurts, it really hurts. She shook her head and laughed. Ouch, what's biting me? I cried. Everyone in the room thought it was part of the act. Jenny jumped up and blew on the hat, and everyone thought that was a riot. I grabbed the hat by the brim with my free hand and tugged with all my strength. I heard a pop sound, and my hand came free. It was bright red and starting to swell. The kids all clapped. They didn't get it. They thought it was part of the show. I didn't know what to say. I stood there, shaking my throbbing hand, and a pigeon flew out from the hat. It made a loud flapping sound as it flew up to the ceiling and began to circle the room. The kids clapped some more. And another pigeon came flying out, and then 2 more pigeons, flapping hard. I lost count as pigeons poured from the hat. I saw Mrs. Barnes' smile fade as a pigeon dive-bombed her, and she had to duck away from it. And then 2 pigeons landed on one of the white couches and began to strut back and forth on the cushion. No, not my couches, Mrs. Barnes cried. I could barely hear her over the laughter and applause from the kids. She came racing across the room and started to shoo the pigeons off the couch. Brady, get 'em back in the hat, she cried. I don't know how, I stammered. And then the first cat came climbing out of the hat, a fat, yellow-orange cat. It dropped onto the coffee table and then leaped into the crowd of kids. Kids laughed and reached for it. A black cat slithered from the top hat, and then 2 large gray cats. Put them back, Mrs. Barnes was screaming. I stood there with my mouth hanging open. What shall I do? A loud squawk made the kids gasp as a cat caught a pigeon and clamped its jaws onto the bird's throat. He's killing it, Jenny cried. There was no laughter now. A few kids were crying. Some were running out of the room.
I just like how you said a few kids were crying, as you might expect.
yeah, of course. The 2 gray cats leaped onto the couch and began scratching their claws down the back. How far am I reading? I'll read the whole damn thing. I love it.
Yeah, do it.
Long ruts in the couch. A black cat jumped onto the other couch and began tearing at the cushion with both claws. A cat pounced on a pigeon and started shaking it. A pigeon landed on a boy's head, and the boy screamed for help. Do something! Do something! Mrs. Barnes shrieked at me. My couches! Oh no, my couches! Jenny, I'm not reading anymore. Jenny picked up the hat and put in her hand. Jenny picked up the hat, put in her head. For some reason, you know, kids, you can't take your eyes off of.
And then she disappeared. Wear that hat. Maybe I'll get a cat on there.
True. And she disappears. The hat eats her alive. And then Brady's like, I better call Deirdre. I better call the hat person. Beep, boop, 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 boop. And he says kids were screaming and crying. Cats were killing pigeons. The 2 couches were in shreds. That was an actual line from the book. I enjoyed it. I kind of want that on a shirt.
Like, you can see the feathers everywhere. The sounds are awful. Like, I'm glad I'm not there.
Oh,
I'm glad I can read about it.
So he calls her, but he gets voicemail. All right, Deirdre ain't answering. So he picks up the hat, slams it on the coffee table, I guess out of frustration.
Just to knock Ginny out of it. Like, get out of there!
Maybe, yeah. But then Deirdre actually pops out of it. Surprise! And she scolds Brady. I told you, the magic was in the hat. And she held the hat, uttered some strange words, as tends to happen in a Goosebumps book. And then all the pigeons flew back in. And then she spun the hat, and the couch is repaired. And then she tilted the hat this way and that, and Ginny flew out and ran to her mom. And Deirdre says, one more trick, and slammed the hat on Brady's head, and he disappears. And then we have the postscript.
Oh.
Mrs. Barnes gazed around. Oh, this is good. This is good then. Mrs. Barnes gazed around her living room, and a wide smile spread over her face. The living room sparkled. The kids were all seated at the dining room table, quietly downing their birthday cake. That was wonderful, Jenny's mom told Deirdre. You saved the day, and the kids had an awesome time. Such wonderful magic. It was fun, Deirdre said. Are you going to bring Brady back? She asked. Oh, yes. He's already home, Deirdre replied. Wondering how he got there, she chuckled. Mrs. Barnes pushed two $20 bills into Deirdre's hand. Here you go, she said. Here's the $40 I promised. You're an amazing magician. Thank you, Deirdre said. But really, the magic is all in the hat.
I loved it.
It's fun, dude. Fun book. Fun story, rather. It's good.
It was a good palate cleanser from the last 5.
It really was. It was sharp, witty. It had a twist in there that I kind of didn't really see coming. Which is good when he's able to do that, because again, he's writing for 10-year-olds, and we're stepping in at 41, being like, "Hey, what you got for me, big guy?" He had one.
Go for a second. Give me a second. I'm just runny and phlegmy like a motherfucker. I was, when you're holding like, I don't know, your cell phone in one hand and a rapper like Kanye or Jay-Z in one hand. No. You're holding like a food wrapper, garbage, or where the other hand. You're just like, oh, I need to throw this away. So you go to the trash can, you throw in your phone, and then you start talking on the garbage. Similar thing just happened to me where...
Talking on your garbage.
I needed to sneeze while I was peeing. And I was like, oh, I don't want to make a mess. So instead of focusing on the peeing portion, I sneezed towards the shower. So I didn't make a mess or anything. Meanwhile, pee everywhere. So...
that's great. That's great.
I'm a fucking moron. I hate when I need to sneeze and I'm just fucking holding the hose and being like, oh, clamp, 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 sneeze. No!
I might leave some of this in. You're very entertaining.
You should definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Magic is in the hat.
That was fun. What do you make of the end there? Do you think... I was a little confused by that ending.
Did you think that Deirdre had been hired as a backup magician?
Either that, or she was the magician all along and he only appeared out of her hat?
Oh. You're going on a deeper meta level, like the whole...
I went deeper. Maybe. That might be too far.
Although I do like the idea that he's just like, get back in my fucking hat. Like, he's just part of her magic act. Oh my god. She's like, all right, for my first trick, a shitty magician is going to ruin your living room. And for my final trick, I'll make him go away. Like, it's almost like he's just part of her act completely.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was the weirdest thing. Where the mom is like, as promised, here's your $40.
Yeah. Like as she had promised him, like somebody's getting $40 or specifically her. Yeah. Also
$40. That's a lot.
Listeners, enlighten us with your take. I'd like to know what other people think about that ending. We could be missing something just obvious. They're like, oh, duh. I'm like, oh,
or
shit.
We're just way overreading it, but yeah.
yeah. Probably.
It might have also just been her being like, thank you for saving the birthday party. I'm going to pay you $40. And then later, she's just like, as promised, here's $40. Like, it could be that much distance between.
And then she just, like, shoved him through the hat back to his house to get him out of there. And he doesn't get paid because he ruined a birthday.
He ruined everything, yeah. Yeah. So that was a nice step up.
Oh, yeah, it was very entertaining.
Do we rate these as we go? I feel like we should rate them as we go so we don't have to, like, backtrack like we did last time and be like, I think 6 hamsters out of 7? I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one 5 stuffed bunnies in the bottom of a bad magic hat out of 7. I was actually very entertained by it. It's not a spooker duker by any stretch, but I thought it upped the. I was giggling, I was cackling. I thought it was a good time.
All right. I'll give it 4 Ginger Toms out of 6. I really like how hard he went at the end.
Yeah, with all the cats killing pigeons. And...
Oh my god, like a literal nightmare situation in that house. I love fucking birds. You know that. I mean, I love birds. I don't love fucking them, but I love birds. Sure. It's still fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, not for the birds, but or Brady.
Or Brady. Or those couches. But, everything got returned to the way it was, so.
I hope all the childhood trauma was wiped out of their brains, which I feel like it was. So, that's your story. I'm going to read my story, which I think this was my favorite out of the 2 I read this time. But it's actually pretty narrow. I would say this one is probably the more fleshed out story, while the other one is kind of more of his, like, Twilight Zone. Gotcha! At the end stories. This one feels like a more proper narrative, but
right.
Let's talk about Oops.
This is the only one of your 2 that I did read. The other will be a surprise to me.
Oh, that's good.
I love stories about kings and knights and wizards and dragons. I've written quite a few. But I think this one is my favorite because it's also about magic. As if the other ones weren't also about magic. I feel like they all were too, but whatever. When I was a kid...
2 magics in a row.
I had a magic kit. A small suitcase with about 30 magic tricks in it. I loved performing the tricks when my family was there about it. When I got the rope, I had 2 pieces. I could never get it back together. It was just 2 pieces. When I guess the card was picked, I usually got it wrong. I had a better chance of guessing it. It's actually pretty amazing. I was like wrong 90% of the time. Like you feel like that's not correct. But I could never get, flowers to burst from the tip of my dick neither. But anyway, this story is about a wizard with great powers, but maybe his magic is as bad as mine. No, you tell me.
I feel like I'm doing more Polly from the Rocky movies now.
A little bit. Rocky, you need to go mess him up.
Yeah, if he were also just like in Goodfellas.
Love stories about kings and knights. I don't know. Hey.
So anyway, we got ourselves a fucking period picture here. He's taking us back before there was dinosaurs. That's not true.
I tend to like it when he does it. What was the one where we had the 2 kids in the castle?
Tower of Terror.
That was fun. That was pretty fun.
Also, fucking magic all over it too. So I don't know how you could have wizards in your fucking book without magic. But whatever else, Stine. We're giving you a lot of hard times. I don't want to give you any more hard times. We're gonna move on.
I love you, Grandpa.
Let's talk about Oops All Berries, the Goosebumps story.
I love Oops All Berries. It's a great series. It's a great series. So we got Nathan of Scots, who's 12. He's been taken by his da to be an apprentice for the king's wizard, Morgan. They go to King Harry's castle, and they're shown the way to Morgan's compartments. Nathan's feeling pretty poor amongst all the rich people. He's got a hole the size of a walnut in his leg. Edna would know what to do with that walnut, wouldn't she?
Have you been practicing this for weeks, dude? Because you're crushing it right now. This is what you did in the shower?
Occasionally, I can do an accent okay.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to do some reading. Because there's a lot of descriptive shit in this story, so it's just easier to just read it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Because he describes things pretty fun.
The guard left Nathan and his family standing in the great king's chamber. Oh, fuck, I said the wrong word. It doesn't matter what accent I'm doing because I'm doing the wrong word. The king, God damn it! The guard. The guard left Nathan and his father standing in the great wizard's chamber. Nathan gazed at the tall shelves of ancient-looking books that lined one wall. Another wall had shelves of glass jars. Nathan could see living creatures in the jars, strange plants and powders. A long work table was covered in tools and lamps and jars and bottles, a silvery wand, a stack of open books. It was silent in the vast room, so quiet Nathan could hear the beating of his heart. He gripped his father's hand with an icy hand of his own. They waited without speaking. Outside a tall window, a large blackbird flapped its wings, peeking inside at them. And then, with a blinding white flash of lightning, Morgan appeared in front of them. Nathan staggered back as if blown by a strong blast of wind. The wizard gazed at them with purple eyes, as purple as his long robe. His white beard was pointed and short, like a brush beneath his chin. A pointed purple cap tilted over his white hair, covered in yellow stars. The wizard eyed them for a long moment. Nathan's father was the first to speak. Morgan, your excellency, he started. I brought my son Nathan to be your apprentice. Morgan turned his gaze on the boy. Your timing is good, he said finally. He had a surprisingly bold and young voice. Oh. My need for an apprentice is great. Nathan knew it was his turn to say something, but what should he say? Morgan narrowed his purple eyes at him. What have you come here to learn, son? He asked. Nathan thought hard. His mind spun like a child's top. Would he always be so afraid of the wizard? Everything, he finally managed to choke out. The answer seemed to please Morgan. He smiled and patted the shoulder of Nathan's tattered shirt. We will learn together, he said. And you will help me do some great magic for the kingdom.
He literally bouncing in his chair doing that character.
Morgan handed Nathan's father a blue cloth bog. I'm so sweaty. It's so hot in here. Morgan handed Nathan's father a blue cloth bag. Nathan could hear coins jingling inside it. Jangling and a jingling inside it. The wizard nodded to the father, telling him it was time to go. Nathan's father turned and placed both hands on Nathan's shoulders. Work hard and make a name for yourself, he said. Goodbye, father. Completely different accent. Nathan's voice cracked with emotion. He watched his father walk from the chamber. The coin bag jangled in one hand. And then there he stood, alone with the great wizard. I think it's because I watched Philomena Kunk recently.
Dude, you're crushing this. I've never maintained an accent for that long.
I would conk on Kunk if I could.
Never in my days have I held an accent that long. I can't even hold my own accent that long. I go in and out of Southern constantly.
I like how our God, there's so many windows. I'm so warm. I like how our bar is just maintaining the same accent for a period of time.
Good or bad, doesn't matter.
Right. Fuck making it sound correctly. As long as we can maintain it for the duration of the time that we're reading,
ride the fucking wave, brother. Hell yeah, dude. You did a great job. And you're not done yet.
I'm not. I'm only doing one reading, I think, in this. Yeah.
Now you got one at the end, I think.
So, next day, Nathan's feeling pretty good. He gets a wizard breakfast. Like, it's literally like there's some juice and honey and shit. It's all magical. He gets some wizard clothes. So he's feeling pretty good. Like, he's got some nice clothes. He's got some nice food. Morgan, which is spelled with an O. It's not like Morgan.
Morgan. Yeah.
So, by the way, if you didn't know this, back in the day, King Arthur fucked his own half-sister.
Whoa.
And then his son, Mordred, eventually, like, almost destroys his entire kingdom. It's great. That's the whole King Arthur story. And they fight together, and Arthur's mortally wounded, and he kills his own son.
Was Mordred a product of the incest?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes. It is his half sister. It's his cousin. No, it's his nephew's son.
Okay. Okay.
And she was a witch.
Oh,
but
that's
so I think that's what Morgan is a reference to, is Morgan. Anyway. So Morgan's just like, bro, We got a fucking talent show we got to get to. There's a banquet coming up. Queen Frida, she's visiting. Our king, King Harry, he wants to impress the shit out of her. He wants that royal jelly to start flowing out that punanner. So we gotta we gotta get King Harry laid, bro.
Can you say punanner in that accent?
Oh, punanner?
Fucking hit
Queen
exactly
Frida's got quite the punanner. You can put a whole Buckingham in there.
God, that delivered exactly how I wanted it to. Thank you.
It's also how they say banana, though. It's very weird. They're like, oh, yeah, banana. Have you ever heard British people do the most redneck shit I've ever heard? I watched this young Scottish woman. She's like 8 years younger than us. So I just want you to imagine a young Scottish woman being like, oh, what's the idea? It's like, idea, like IDAAR, about like, what's the idea here? That is like some fucking...
That's how my dad would say it, yeah.
Toothless yokel shit. And the British
would
people
always
are
be
like, oh, we speak English better than y'all. And you're like, you say idea.
Yeah, my dad would say that. I would be like, Dad, what's this? And he'd be like, I ain't got no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he would say, I ain't got the foggiest idea. That was his favorite.
Well, maybe your dad... Yeah, I mean, you did talk about how your dad was actually from London or wherever, England. So
he thought he was
about
Irish.
fog and ideas.
Maybe.
It's just like an ancestral memory to fog. So Nathan's, he's like, all right, this sounds fucking fun. There is a moment where, like, the wizard's just like, what are you here to learn, young boy? And Nathan's just like, everything? I want to learn fucking everything. And he's here to learn. And
yeah, dude.
So there's this bird knocking on the window, and Nathan's just like, what's going on with that little birdie? And Morgan is just like, oh, that's my old apprentice. It's Rolf. Don't pay attention to him. I had to get rid of him. It's like, what the fuck? What's hilarious is you're just like, I don't think that was on purpose. I don't think Rolf was on purpose turned into a bird. So we move along. So he's just like, all right, I've got this great idea. Morgan does, the wizard. Morgan's just like, I got a great idea. We're going to make the banquet table levitate. King's easily impressed. He's going to be like, oh, shit, how'd you do that? And Nathan's like, holy shit, you can do that? And Morgan's like, you need to, I'll fucking hit you. Fucking hit you. Go get me those spell ingredients from that top shelf over there. Nathan's like, I'm 12, so I can't get up there.
Yeah.
Morgan, great idea. He's a wizard. I'll just fucking make you taller. He does some whispery spells, waves his wand. The funniest part about all this is he touches Nathan to make him taller, which means Morgan goes to where Nathan is, makes him taller so he can get something off the shelf instead of just being like, I just fucking get it myself now. He's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make you taller. We're going to Gattaca style it. You're going to be a couple inches taller. You're going to get these shits. Which makes it funnier considering the series of events that happens after.
Yeah.
So, Morgan says the fancy words. Nathan's like, whoa! I don't feel taller. Except he doesn't say that. Instead he says, Ribbit. And Morgan's like, fuck, I turned you into a frog. Hold on. Let me look this up. So he goes back to his books. He's looking for more shit. And he's just, all right. I figured this out. Blah, blah. He does some more words. Alakazam, Kalamazoo. Boom, boom, boom. Nathan's just like, Brr. Nathan's definitely taller now. And he's
Thank God.
Ribbit. And Morgan's like, fuck. Now you're just a bigger frog. Hold on. I know it is. I don't know why I was doing before. I'm going to do this now. It's going to be fucking magical. What is it? Was a cadabra? Nathan turns into a fucking huge-ass frog, and he's just like, I'm out of here, because this is stupid. So he leaves. Nathan jumps out of the tower window, straight into a pond, and he's splashing around doing his froggy things, because he's like, This is nice. I like this.
I don't know if I'd have left.
This.
I'd have been like, I mean, maybe he, find another wizard. Is that his hope?
I mean, at this point, at least he's like a man-sized frog, so he could probably get shit done. I don't know. I don't know what that would be. You have to assume...
Probably farm.
Do you think his height grew so that his width was in proportion. Because if you just took a frog and made it grow in scale so that it was as tall as a human being, it would be like 20 feet wide, though. Like,
Yeah,
it would be
it'd be
huge.
Massive.
So anyway, a bunch of knights see Nathan paddling on this pond, and they're just like, what the fuck is this monster? We need to kill it. And so they start, bows and arrows and swords and like, ah! And Nathan's just like, I'm a frog boy. Don't kill me. Morgan appears and is like, hey, this is my frog monster. It's a gift to the king. Fuck off.
It's my frog boy.
Yeah. I also liked, he's taking this fucking frog man back with him. He's like, don't fucking touch me. You're wet.
Don't mess with my twink Fabian.
Stop.
I'll cut it out.
But I just love how it's just like, don't fucking, you're wet. I don't need a wet frog touching me right now.
Dry frog,
Like-
maybe.
What, a wet one?
Ugh.
They get back to the tower. Morgan's like, hey, the words were fine. Is the wand work? I waved it wrong. Dipshit.
Classic.
So he does a little this, and a little that, and a little this, and a little that, and up, down, left, right. A little couple figure eights and a cuts and crews and kurskiras and just bachow with his wand. And Nathan's no longer a frog. Happy day. He's instead a human being the size of a frog. So right species, wrong dimensions. We're fine. We're getting closer.
Yeah.
But then this fucking squire comes in and he's just like, hey, Mr. Wizard. Like the TV show, Mr. Wizard. Mr. Wizard, the King Harry needs to see you forthwith. I'm talking like Kermit the Frog here. And
Makes
they leave.
sense.
And Morgan's just like, fuck, I'm going to go talk to the king. I'll see you later. And he's like, the cat's probably going to eat you. Never mind. And sticks him in his shirt pocket and then leaves. Which I also thought was funny. The whole reason is just, the cat will probably eat you. Right? Jesus. Nathan's had a rough first day at work. This is all day one. After he got sold by his dad to a wizard.
It's a rough life.
Morgan goes to the king. The king's described in this weird way where it's like this young guy with like super curly hair that's bouncing all over the place. And he's just like, he also sounds kind of like a sociopath who's just down for any weird shit because he's super excited about Tiny Nathan. Because, like, at first, King Harry's just like, what the fuck's in your pot? What is this tiny man? King Frida's gonna love that. And Morgan knows how to pivot. Morgan's just like, the kid in the last story, what's his name? The magician kid. Brady. Where he knows, like, all right, if your act's not working, you gotta roll with it, and then the crowd's gonna love it.
Yeah.
And so Morgan's like, ha, yeah, I made this tiny living doll for the queen. You love it? He's described as, like, goblet size. So I feel like he's, like, maybe a foot tall child, maybe less than a foot. I don't know how big of a goblet. It's kind of a loosey-goosey measurement, I feel like. Well, whatever. So I feel like he's in the pocket and sticking out then, too. He's just like, hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Nathan does not like this turn of events because, like, you're going to turn me back, right? And Morgan's just like, fuck no, buddy. At least until the banquet, you've got to be tiny. You got to be this tiny little squirt. My script specifically says, And, of course, Queen Frida would love a tiny little man to pop up inside of her.
Yeah.
Nathan is rip shit. Nathan's not happy about the situation. He's like,
you literally typed that into the sheet, too.
Yeah.
Nathan is rip shit.
He's like, you need to change me back right now, motherfucker. Morgan's like, I need to put you in this jar and go to bed, motherfucker. And so he puts Nathan inside of a jar and he goes to bed. I don't think it's one of those jars with a lid on it, though, because they didn't have lids back in medieval times. They just had jars.
Of course not, yeah.
And I love how R.L. Stine's too lazy to really explain this, but he's just like, he just licks his hands and then walks up the cup wall. But I feel like he's just like, and then suction cupping it up the fucking wall of this thing, which is a pretty impressive thing for a medieval kid to figure out, because he didn't grow up with suction cup toys.
No. Or as a frog.
But, yeah. Well, he's a kid now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So he goes to the magic book and he starts reading it as a tiny thing. And he's like, I'm going to read these fucking spells. I'll change myself back. And then he just makes himself even smaller. Which is only important because Morgan is just like, I feel like he's been hanging out with one of his guard friends, like one of the few guards that's just like, yeah, I'll hang out with a weird-ass wizard guy. And the wizard's just like, you're like my one dude friend, man. Like, you understand.
Some people call me a king, but it's usually by accident, man.
And Morgan's just like, oh, fuck, I'm not changing that kid back ever. And Nathan doesn't like that. So cuts. It's literally just Nathan being like studying all night long, and then we cut to the next day, the banquet. Morgan takes even tinier Nathan to the banquet. Doesn't even seem to think like, why is he even smaller now? Who gives a fuck? Crowd loves him even more. He's tinier. That's even better. He even makes it seem as if he's made Nathan, because he's just like, I made this tiny person and didn't shrink an actual person down. And everyone's just like, I love him. And Morgan's about to do some sort of spell or whatever. And then the tiniest Nathan jumps onto the wand. I feel like he's just hugging it. And then he just starts screaming out magic words. And he gets real big. And he gets it right off the bat. And so then he takes the wand from Morgan, and we're going to do a little bit more reading to close out this story, and hopefully I remember the accent. The room shook. Nathan dropped from the wizard hand and began to grow. When he reached normal size, he grabbed the wand again and shouted more strange words he had memorized. Another pop. Another long moment of the entire banquet hall shaking. More cries and gasps. Nathan watched Morgan shrink, smaller and smaller. A few seconds was all it took, and Morgan hopped on the table, croaking furiously. A frog! Nathan's spell had worked. He had turned the wizard into a frog. King Ares' laughter boomed over the gasps and cries of surprise that rang out across the banquet hall. The king slapped Nathan on the back. Wonderful, wonderful magic, he cried. What a triumph! Young man, you will be my wizard from now on. Oh, thank you, sire, Nathan said. A wave of excitement ran up and down his body. He picked up the wand. His hand slipped, and he accidentally bumped the king with it. Reba. Doing that with an accent is a whole different story. King Ares uttered startled croaks as he hopped on the tabletop. A frog. Nathan had turned his royal highness into a frog. Nathan stared at the two frogs on the table. Oops, he said.
He said the thing.
Oops.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a good time, I feel.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, these are fun. The accent made it for me. I kind of want to reread it with your accent in my mind.
I feel like I was forgetting it by the end there, but we managed to get through that story okay. Better than normal.
Yeah, I think so. Where are you at on it?
I would give this story 5 out of 7 tiny man-sized dildos. No.
Wow.
Tiny dildo-sized men.
Wow.
Otherwise, that would be giant dildos.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so tiny, 5 out of 7 tiny men-sized. No! Dildo-sized men.
Dildo-sized. 5 out of 7 dildo-sized men. I like it. That's good.
Like, this one was actually, like, a proper story.
Yeah, it felt complete. I liked it okay. As a story. I don't know that it's... I don't think it tangled my Stine. To be honest. I thought it was fun, though. But I didn't really care enough about... It was a little too wacky, I think, to be... Mm-hmm. To really have that, like, hook I'm looking for. But I still liked it. So I kind of want to give it, like, a halfway. I want to give it, like, a 3.5... frogs out of 7 frogs. I want to kind of split it down the middle. Give it some respect for being fun, but some detractions for not being kind of spooky, which is what I'm looking for.
I just like there's a couple of good moments in there, like when they talked about Nathan's dad walking away with a bag of money, and it's just like, ugh. Like, she's kind of like, sorry, son, goodbye.
You sold his kid. That is spooky. No, you're right. That's spooky.
And I liked how immediately it's just like, oh, I've just been sold to a fucking dipshit. Yeah, so I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
At this point, too, it's just like any story that's not the first 5 Like I'm trying. I'm like, all right, calm down. Don't overrate these because you're just like these are so much better.
That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. I feel like the next story. My next story is kind of the cleanup hitter of the bunch. I feel like it's the cover story. It's got dead stuff in it. I think it's pretty good. So I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna read the inspiration, if you will. Yes, I'm reading from Stinetingler. This is RL. I'm not Becca versus page 149. Why do I write so many stories about people trading bodies with someone else? Seriously, why do I keep doing it? It's like literally every other story is that. I can't answer that question. I know it would be frightening to be outside your body. And what if you couldn't get back in? I wanted this story to be really scary, scarier than other stories about people who switch bodies. So I asked myself, what would happen if you traded bodies with like a dead person or something like that? And that's how this story got started. So, we've got Greta. Okay. And her friend Kylie. And they are of the era. I feel like RL might have consulted his the whatever teenagers are left in his family, his great-great-granddaughter. He was like, tell me about the internet as you understand it.
Yeah, this actually felt accurate.
To an extent, yeah.
Except for the fact that one of the characters' names is Greta.
Yeah, little out of vogue. Well, Greta and her friend Kylie make short-form horror videos that they like to call hide and shriek. They probably put them up on the TikTok. That went without saying.
Oh, yeah.
And Greta loves it. She gets really into it. She says she nearly scares herself making these things. And Kylie's not so into the spooky part. She kind of likes the video part of it, and she likes, obviously, the attention and the clicks they get online. But she's like, why don't we just do, like, dancing videos like everyone else? But Greta's like, nah, I don't do that. All right, I can't dance, for first. And for twos, I like this thing that we're doing. So they're getting ready to shoot a video. Greta's gussing Kylie up. Got her looking like a zombie. Going to have her coming out of a grave. All kinds of makeup. Boy, she's going every inch of the way making Kylie look like a zombie. Fake worms. One sticking out of her nose. The full thing.
Beautiful.
And also, it turns out their videos have twists to them. They're not all just spooker dooker.
They're like Goosebumps.
Like in this one. Yeah, kind of. I wonder where the inspiration for this came from. It's a good idea.
It's almost like he's just like,
do you think maybe, I don't know, like the kids would like 2 minute long hide and shriekers? I don't know.
I don't know. You tell me. In this one that they're planning, where Kylie is a zombie, she will come up out of a grave behind Greta, and then she'll, which will be the scary part, but then, right at the moment of climax, she'll ask for Greta's phone. She's like, can I borrow your phone? To check her texts since she's been dead. Okay.
I think that's a pretty good gag for a couple 12-year-olds.
But I wanted to get your take. Is that how phones work? Can you borrow someone else's phone to check your texts?
Okay, no. But
got him.
But maybe God, I can't believe I have to spackle this conversation between children. Text can mean anything, like Signal, WhatsApp. Come on, man. Like, well, let's go with that, all right? And she wants to sign into her Instagram and look at her DMs. I don't fucking know, man.
Okay.
Don't make me have to explain everything that he does.
Well, when they go to the graveyard, they're going to meet their friend Kenji, and he will help them film. So if you're curious how they're going to do this, they don't need a tripod. They're going to get another human for some reason to do this. And I don't even know why that person's included in the story, if I'm being quite honest. But we'll get there. So it's cold and foggy out. Great night for a horror video. My goodness, we got fog in a graveyard. Hello. And at the grave, Greta, she's like, all right, Kylie, you looking like a zombie, but you got to look like a zombie that came up out of the dirt. All right, we got to start. I'm going to start putting a little mud on you, put a little dirt on you, give you that full out-of-the-ground zombie effect. Pretty cool. All right, the fog's starting to swirl. Hell yeah. And Kylie's like, you know what's... The fog kind of looks alive. You know? Kind of... Never mind I said that. But doesn't it kind of... It's kind of got a mind of its own, moving around and whatnot, caressing us with its foggy tendrils. And so they go on with the video. Kylie gets in position, and the fog's getting thicker. And it looks great now, but if they keep dilly-dallying, you know, if it gets much thicker, then there's a potential that they can't even make the video. It'll be too foggy for them to see what's going on.
Yeah, there's clearly something like the fog is supposed to be what's the cause of all the mysticism that happens later, I feel like, right?
I guess, yeah. I think so. And so Greta pulls out her phone to film, but now, at this point, the fog is too thick. She can't see Kylie. The light's just reflecting off of it, making it worse. So she's like, hey, Kylie, can we just wait or come back tomorrow and do this? And she's yelling this through the fog. Kylie, can you hear me? I'm saying, can we wait and do this tomorrow when it's maybe incrementally less foggy? I cannot see you. No reply. Or at least not one that she could hear. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of reading. Kylie! I started to call her again, but I stopped when I saw her coming down the hill. I tucked my phone into my pocket and watched her through curling snakes of fog. She appeared to stagger, as if she couldn't keep her balance. And as she came closer, I stared in shock at her loose white skirt dragging along the ground. Her dress, stained and tattered and sleeveless. Her dress? Closer, she staggered, and the bald patch on her head came into clear view. The missing skin at her throat. The open, toothless mouth. One eye sunken deep in its socket.
I like when that one eye's sucking.
No! A hoarse scream escaped my throat. If it's a horse scream, wouldn't it be, nay?
Stop.
Come on, let's have fun. I stumbled back from the hill. Who are you? I screamed. Who are you? And then I raised my eyes to the top of the hill. Kylie? Kylie? I cried in a tight, shrill voice. Kylie, are you okay? The terrifying girl staggered toward me. She brushed clumps of dirt off the front of her dress. Then she raised both arms toward me, and I saw the missing skin on one arm, just bone. The arm was bone, and the fingers on one hand, just bone. And folks, if you don't know what I just described, look at the cover of your nearest Stinetingler 3.
Yeah.
No, please, I choked out. Why didn't I run? I was too shocked, too frightened. Panic, total panic. Staring at this one-eyed girl with the hole in her scalp and the skin rotting off her bones. She grabbed me. Her fingers tightened around my wrist. I felt my knees start to fold. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't cry out. Her fingers were so hard, so cold. She brought her face close to mine, and I could smell the dirt of her grave, smell the rot of her skin. Her eye seemed to swim deep in its socket. Her hair stood straight out, whipping in the wind. Gasping for breath, I swiped my hand away from her. Her mouth dropped open, and again I saw the toothless gums. Who are you? I managed to stammer. Kylie? Where's Kylie? Her good eye blinked at me. I'm Becca, she said. That's the voice she gets. I'm Becca.
I'm Becca.
Her voice was ratty, like she had dry leaves in her throat. I'm Becca. What's your name? Greta? I stared at her, my whole body trembling. My mind was spinning too fast. I felt dizzy. Now, no longer reading. Greta then, continues to ask her about Kylie. Like, okay, I get you're Becca. Great. Have you seen my friend? I had a friend. She looked a little bit like you, but more real. Or, you know what I mean? Or maybe less real, in a sense. She's mostly alive. And Becca's like, I don't know nothing about no Kylie. I never met no Kylie.
Kylie Minogue.
So,
You mean Kylie Minogue? You probably think this book's about you, don't you?
Becca asks Greta for help. She's like,
Can you help me? I want a 6-pack of Carltons, and I died so young. And I spent so long climbing out of that grave. I mean, they say 6 feet. I'm willing to bet 8. It's deep, and I'd like to, if I could, I'd like to have your body.
Greta's like, what?
I mean, just for a half hour. Don't get it crazy. I ain't trying to take it for the weekend. Just like a little half-hour spin in her, if I could.
And Greta's like, no.
She's like, I just want to go for a walk in that body of yours. I just want to smell the air, feel the wind on your face, I guess it'd be, and I'll bring it right back. I'll be real careful with it. I won't go hot rodding or nothing, or climb any trees or anything like that, or fight a Wolverine or anything like that. I just want to walk around.
And Greta's like, I don't. Have you seen my friend Kylie anywhere?
Have you read the book Why Am I Scared of Bees? Because that'll tell you why you should do a body swap.
Becca, have you read Why I'm Afraid? Were you alive during the first run of the Goosebumps back in the 90s?
Becca's like, oh yeah, do you remember Welcome to Dead House? I'm one of those kids. I'm one of them.
I was the tree.
I'm
kind of a pushover. Listen, this is what'll happen, Greta. We'll trade bodies, all right? You'll get my body. It's not like I'm taking your body. You're not going to get a body. You still get a body. You get my body, all right? And I get to run around with your body for a little bit, and it'll be fun, all right?
And Greta's like, that actually makes it kind of worse.
Yeah.
I don't think that made it better. I don't think I want your body.
Also,
Greta does consider it.
Just looking at how you treated your body, I feel like maybe you're not the most responsible body owner. I'm just putting that out to you.
It's so true. Greta does consider it. She's like, well, okay, let me think about it. Nah. And then as she's like giving it she's got her like finger on her mouth, kind of like, maybe, she just immediately sprints and runs. Just, pew, just Looney Tunes, leaves a pile of smoke behind her. And Becca's like, hey, wait, hey, girl. Hey, don't run. Oh, don't run. Because, I can run pretty fast. I'm a ghost. I don't got gravity or nothing. And so Greta's hauling it, dude. But then she trips and falls because it's dark in a cemetery. And Becca dives on her back. Got you. I got you. I'm right here. And Greta struggles. She's like, get off me, get off me, get off me. But in the fracas, they're consumed by the ever-swirling fog. And I got a little bit more to read to you here. When I stood up, I gaped in horror at my bony arms, the skin missing on my fingers. I struggled to see, but I had only one eye. I reached for my hair and felt the patch of missing skin on my skull. She did it. Becca took my body. Squinting, I could see her trotting along the path through the graves. I saw me, my body, moving quickly in the swirling fog. A frightened groan, this is a frightened groan, escaped my mouth. Oh, remember, she's Becca now, so I get to bring the voice back. Shivering, I wrapped my bony arms around my long, tattered dress and waited for the shivering to stop. I'm in a dead girl's body. Will she keep her promise? Will she bring my body back in half an hour? I suddenly thought of Kylie. Where was she? She never came down from the hill. Gathering all of my strength, I forced Becca's body to move. The legs felt heavy and stiff. Sorry, I didn't mean to end on that. I lost my place. The legs felt heavy and stiff. My bare feet were cold. I struggled to see with my one eye. I climbed the hill slowly, painfully. I had to see if Kylie was still up there. I was nearly to the top, my bones creaking and cracking, when I saw her. Kylie! Why was she still up here, clinging to the tombstone? I tried to call her name, but my voice couldn't escape my rotted throat. I took a few steps closer until I realized I wasn't looking at Kylie. Someone else. Another poor dead girl in rotting tatters of a dress, bald with half the skin missing from her head, a worm crawling in one empty eye socket. She raised both hands, skeletal, no skin at all, and called to me in a terrifying hoarse whisper, "Becca, Becca, you must come back." I shuddered so hard I dropped to my knees. "No, no," I moaned. "I'm not Becca." So, not reading anymore. The dead girl motions knew Greta Becca to her, but Greta was like,
No, I'm not Becca, dude. No, I'm not Becca. I'm just as a rental. This is not me.
but the dead girl ain't buying it.
I don't know
She's
why
like,
that got me so good, but
but the dead girl ain't buying it. She's like,
I see you over, Becca. I see you, Becca. I see you over. I'm not stupid. I got both of my eyes. You got one.
and Greta's like,
Nah, dude. But Becca should be back pretty soon. But that ain't me. I'm not no Becca. You know what I mean?
but the girl gripped Greta Becca on her bony hand, or by her bony hand, on her bony hand, and then dragged her behind the gravestone and into the dirt and pulled her down, down, down. And "I'm not Becca" was my last words before I sank into the grave. Now, the next section opens up in a different perspective. I kept my promise. I brought Greta's body back to the cemetery half an hour later, or maybe a few minutes. It's hard to keep track of time when you've been dead so long. And, turns out Becca actually enjoyed that little walk she had in Greta's body. She loved all those smells and the feels of the fog and the breeze and all the little sounds that she couldn't hear before. And she looks around, she looks and looks, and she just can't find Greta. She's nowhere to be seen, not where she left her. But she does see another girl hurrying toward her, waving her arms. "Greta, you're still here!" It was Kylie. She had gotten lost in the fog. So, Becca Greta plays it cool. Kylie says, "Kenji texted me. He said he couldn't make it. It's too late." And we're not even real sure why he was included in the story, because we could have had a tripod and we wouldn't have needed him at all anyways. He didn't matter. But he's not coming, so know that. And Becca Greta's confused. She's like, "I don't know who Kenji is, but doesn't matter. I'll figure it out later. I don't even know what texts are," as R.L. Stine doesn't either. R.L. Stine's admitting right here. He's like, some people don't know what texts are, just to be clear. And Kylie is she's freezing cold, and she tells the new Greta that she wants to leave and head back to Greta's house. And Greta's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that. Go ahead. Lead the way." Bum, bum, bum. I thought that was great. A lot of good descriptors of things. He does a really good job with that. And, there's that. It always has more gravitas at the end when he leaves someone, especially the protagonist, helpless forever.
oh yeah,
That's when it really sinks in. And we got one of those.
I mean, they do give you enough wiggle room to be like, Kylie's eventually gonna figure out what happened to Greta, right? When her friend's just like, "What's TV?" No, I don't know what TV
I do want to
is.
see, let's flash forward, 2 weeks and see what the relationship's like.
Yeah. Fucking Greta's now super into the sock hop and just really just
Yeah.
super into Eisenhower. It's strange. Anyway, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
And that is probably going to end up being my favorite when all is said and done.
Yeah, it's definitely mine.
It's upsetting.
If we get to rate on a Tingler scale, which I think is fair here because these aren't fully fleshed out books, and you could tell, let's be honest, he's phoning some of this shit in. I mean, I respect,
Yeah,
I think
I
this
feel
is the best.
definite trunk stories, which are the things that you held back and didn't you knew weren't going to publish, and you're just like, I can publish this now because no one gives a fuck.
No one gives a fuck.
But yeah,
I'm going to give it 7 out of 7 bony fingers. I think it is a perfect Tingler. Plus, I'm going to tell you this. I think, honestly, I'm going to give some credit to Marcella's cover for doing a little bit of the work with my imagination.
That's fair. All right. If we're going to do that, which I feel like is fair, because I think we've already done that for the other 2 stories, because I feel like if we compare some of these stories to Goosebumps books, we'd probably look at them a little harsher.
Got to, yeah.
I'll give this one 10 out of 10 skeletal phalanges. Those are fingers.
Yeah, no, I got you on that.
Now, I know you know. I'm telling everybody else. You have a PhD. You know what a phalanges is.
Telling all the kids that listen to this what a phalange is. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I like to educate. No, explain to people.
But no, that one was a lot of fun.
I dug it. When I got to the end, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, even though like parts of it were kind of like, oh, I see where this is going. I still wanted to go there. I wasn't like disappointed when we got to it. So good ride. Good job, RL. You saved yourself with that one. You still got it.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'm going to bring you down a little bit because I've got here is another R.L. Stine favorite, which is a strange business that does weird business that might be bad business. I don't fucking know. But
it's like no wonder he got in a tiff with Scholastic. He has no idea how business works.
Oh, no. This is the closest how businesses work that we've gotten so far. This is Dream Factory. This is the Dream Factory.
People always ask me if I get story ideas from my dreams. The truth is, I've never had a dream that I could use. Never. I've never had a dream. All my dreams are just nightmares that never stop. They just play behind my eyes even when I'm awake. It's just... I just see my family die over and over and over and over and over and over again. Anyway, I have the most boring dreams you can imagine. The other night, I dreamed I was eating a Snickers bar. It was pretty cool. I like Snickers. That was one of my most exciting dreams. So I guess I get all my adventure and drama and terror out during the day while I'm writing. So there's nothing left for when I sleep except for the dead family. Recently, I started to think, what if I could not see my dead family anymore? And what if you could choose your dreams? What if you could buy any dream that you wanted? You just went down to the store and you just said, hey, I want that one over there, the one with my living mother and my living wife and my living children. I want that dream there. And that's how I got the idea for the story.
First of all, he sounds more and more like Christopher Walken with a stroke. And I love that. And second of all, I didn't read this story, but I wanted to share that when I was a kid, I would kind of implant my own dreams. And the way that I would do that was I would imagine I was putting the dream that I wanted into my brain as if it were an NES cartridge. And I would think like, oh, I want the one where...
so on brand, no matter what.
I was like, I want the one where I'm good at basketball. And I would just dream about basketball or think about basketball until it turned into a dream. Honestly, I still kind of do that, but I don't have like the intro with the cartridge. I've kind of abandoned that over the years. Might bring it back. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, you've actually described a meditation technique that you developed as a child. That's literally just a meditation technique to do.
I guess it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how I coped with all the abuse.
Jesus Christ. So I'm going to start off my telling of the Dream Factory with a bit of reading. And honestly, this kind of hit me a certain way because the dream that they start off with is a dream that I had often as a kid. I'll keep this short because no one wants to hear about other people's dreams. I used to have a constant reoccurring dream where I was in an out-of-control car. And the older I got, the more elaborate the dream would get, where I would be on highways that were miles tall. Imagine a roller coaster in an apocalyptic wasteland, and you're just in an out-of-control vehicle. And just going over, looking down into a marshy wasteland that's, thousands of feet below you as your car's just
yeah. You got heebie-jeebies. You got a little bit of, vertigo almost in your own dream.
I'm super scared of heights, and I hate going over bridges, so that was not a fun dream. Anyway, let's talk about Clay and his dreams. I'm going to go back to Boston, by the way, because I did a whole thing in not one of my accents. I'm going to do one of my accents. So, Clay spun the spirit. Jesus fuck. Clay spun the steering wheel, and the car whirled around the curve. The tires squealing. How fast am I going? He wondered. He didn't dare take his eyes off the road to check. The car hit a bump, and he flew off the seat, cracking his head on the low roof. A wide truck came roaring towards him, and he swerved to stay in the lane. Another sharp curve made the tire squeal. Why am I driving? Clay wondered, feeling his heart race in his chest. I'm only 12. Who let me drive? And where am I going? He pounded his shoe on the brake pedal, but the car didn't slow. I'm out of control. Trees rushed past the windows in a blur of green. He squeezed the horn so hard his hands ached. That's not how horns work. You fucking pound them. You fucking squeeze them.
Squeeze it.
Squeeze them.
Was it like is R.L. Stine thinking of like the horns from like the 1930s? It was like agooga googa, you know, like.
Oh yeah, there is actually a section where Clay has to get out and like wind the thing on the engine.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, he's got to get out and get the turnkey. I fucking can't. What was that thing called? You winded it up.
The crank.
The
I don't
crank.
know.
Yeah, the crank. He cranks the car. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. Trees rushed past the windows in a blur of green. He squeezed the wheel so hard. I read it wrong.
Oh, his wheel.
I'm the stupid one. Cars came at him, blasting the horns. Up ahead, a squirrel stepped onto the road. Fun fact, I nearly killed me and my ex-wife once because I was like, oh, there's a squirrel on the highway. I should avoid it, and swerved into like, a couple of other cars. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. By the way, I still hit the squirrel. It was a rough day.
Oh, God.
Clay
damn.
slammed his foot down on the brake as hard as he could. The squeal shut. That's not how I pronounce shit.
Shut. Fuck. He can't even cuss.
The squeal cawed, but didn't slow. He swerved hard and missed the squirrel by an inch. Not me. And rocketed on. Where am I? Where am I driving? He had no answers. And then the car wasn't a car any longer. He sat in a canoe, racing across frothy waves, so frothy, moving as fast as the car. The canoe rocked up under a tall, white-capped wave, then crashed back down. Clay toppled onto his stomach. The oars slid from his hands, and he watched them sink into the churning water. Was that a hammerhead shark rising itself in the waves a short distance up ahead? Had it turned towards Clay's canoe? Clay uttered a frightened cry, but was drowned out by the roar of another tall wave that smashed into the side of the slender boat. Smothered by the wave, the canoe tilted over. Clay hit the water hard and sank beneath the swollen surface. He's just like, it's a baby whale. The heavy cold surrounded him and he started to choke. But he wasn't falling to water. He was floating down in a clear blue sky. You could see a forest of trees beneath him, ending in a raw cliff. He was dropping through the sky. What the fuck is this shit? Wind rushed at his face, smothering him. He struggled to breathe. He flapped his arms like a little baddie. Flapped his arms as if they could hold him up. He's fucking stupid. He got no feathers. Now I know I'm dreaming, he told himself. How do I get out of this dream before I crash into the ground and die, all shit? Panic froze him as the trees below appeared to grow bigger, closer, and then he felt the heavy back on his back. A parachute. Not a pair of shoes. A parachute. Of course, a parachute to break his fall. A cord dangled in front of his face. He made a grab for it, but the rushing wind swung it out of his reach. What the fuck, wind? You want to fucking kill me? A 12-year-old boy falling to his death? Another grab. More desperate. His hand flailing around. Finally, the ring at the end of the cord in his fingers. Yes. Feels good. Clay tugged the ring hard and the cord tore up, ripped off in his hand. The pack weighed heavily on his back. No parachute, just rocks. Nothing to save him. As he smashed head first in a tall grass where the velociraptors were waiting for him. And then he fucking woke up on his stomach on the floor beside his bed. And he opened his eyes, the room was spinning, the pain of the crash lingered in his head, his breath is like short gasps. Trying to shake the dream away, he forced himself to his feet. Soaked in sweat, his pajama shirt it felt cold against his back. He blinked his eyes. Tries to get the room to stop swimming. Had a bit too much to have last night, I'll tell you too much. A couple of vodka wall bangers. Clay checked the clock.
Take that for free.
7:15, Tuesday, a school day. The real world was slowly coming back to him. And that's going to bring us up to Clay's life up until this point, which is a life haunted by dreams and nightmares. Because his brain is just filled with the nightmares right now. I'm sorry, I've gone full whatever I'm doing right now.
100%. Yeah.
What
What a town. What a town.
I'm back. So he comes down to breakfast. His dad, Mr. Falk, is like, "Hey, buddy, you look like dog shit." And Clay's like, "Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. I had another bad dream." And this has apparently been a reoccurring thing that he's just been having all these bad dreams. Mr. Falk tries to do a little, parental psychologies. And he's just like, "Hey, you worried about something at school?" Clay's like, "Nah." And Mr. Falk's just like, "All right, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you then. You're broken. Maybe we should talk to your mother about it." His mom's a school teacher. She's already left for the day. So Clay goes to school. He's talking to his friend Laura. And this is one of those moments, because I don't do the script usually. I don't take the notes. Usually Travis does that for both of us. So I was taking notes, and it's like, I should write down this thing about her yellow-brown headlight eyes or whatever. Never comes up again. But Laura has haunting eyes.
He'll get you with that shit, right?
Yes.
I'm glad you experienced it where you're like, that seems important.
Yeah, it's just like,
ain't.
Laura looks like a fucking nightmare, and her name is spelled differently than you normally expect. It's Lora. Like, maybe she's a fucking werewolf. I don't know. So, Clay's telling me about his dream. Laura's just like, I had a dream last night about eating a Snickers bar. Don't call it a callback. R.L. Stine's been here for years, because that's a callback to his dream about eating a Snickers bar.
I didn't even think about that.
And Clay is super excited because he's like, I wish I had a dream about eating a Snickers bar. And as someone who used to have, I do both. I'll have dreams that I wake up and are both haunting and upsetting, and also just like, what's wrong with me? But I'll also have dreams that are so dull that I think, did I dream that, or did that actually happen, that I forgot my house keys? Doesn't matter? No. So, at the table next to him, his friend Denny leans over and is like, "Hey, the what?" "The Dream Factory. It's on High Street, past the dairy," Denny said. "If you don't like your dreams, you've got to go there." "All right, I saw a video about it," Laura said. "They sell dreams there." "Huh? Dreams?" Everyone's gonna have the same voice. "Huh? Dreams? What kind of dreams?" Clay said. "Every kind," Denny said. "They have every kind of dream. For kids, for grown-ups, scary dreams, and funny dreams, and happy dreams, and wet dreams." Clay squinted at him. "Seriously? You can get wet from dreaming?" Denny nodded. "Yeah, but they also got travel dreams. You can go anywhere you want.
That's not in the book,
and time
is it?
travel dreams." What?
Did you put that in there?
Yes,
Was that in the book?
100%. Yeah. Yes. R.L. Stine put in a whole section about wet dreams in the middle of the story. No, you fucking psycho. Don't ruin this for me. And time travel dreams, where you get to fuck your own mother before she's your mother. You can dream about the past or the future. I'm not kidding. Laura laughed.
What kills me is that it still looks like you're reading, but you're.
Do you like that I keep...
You never looked away from the same place you were reading the other things.
Yeah, I also gesture in the same way. Nothing changes when I'm just...
I know,
wish people
it's so
could
deadpan.
watch me read so they could really appreciate the full body performance that me reading a book
Hey, man.
is.
Join our Patreon. We'll do some live reads. We should do that. We should do a little Patreon thing where we do some readings. And
Or we should do it without the audio, and it's just me being like, what book is he reading? We don't know. I like how I did a visual humor joke just now. Then he nodded. They got travel dreams, blah, blah, blah. Time travel, wet dreams, blah, 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 blah.
shit.
Laura laughed. Clay, are you excited? She's a little higher because she's a lady. Of course I'm excited, he replied. He turned back to Denny. What do? You just go in there and pick out a dream? They're pretty expensive, Denny said. I think you pay by the minute, like a 900 number. And you have to bring your parents. They won't sell dreams to kids, much like a 900 number, unless your parents are there. Clay began to imagine dreams he might buy. I'm walking on the moon. I'm on a jungle safari. I'm ejaculating. I'm king back in the day, and people do whatever I say. Danny, have you ever done it? See higher, Laura asked. Did your parents ever buy you a dream? Danny took the last bite of his sandwich. No, I don't care about dreams. They're fucking stupid, he said, chewing. I only like to sleep. A lot, though. Like 18 hours a day. Sometimes I wish I could always sleep and never have to wake up again and deal with my problems. But whatever. He swallowed. But my mom bought Dad a dream for his birthday. And the dream, it was a big star on Broadway. Whoa, awesome! Laura said. Did he like it? Clay asked. He loved it. Mom said he was taking bows in his sleep. I was super worried I was going to say bows. He was taking bows in his sleep. And I have to like fucking back out and swear and be like, waste 10 minutes talking about it instead of right now. The bell rang. They had to go to class. So they did. So they go to class. Clay talks about his wet dreams in front of everybody. And everybody's like, I don't want to hear about it. It's super gross. Bye. So they go to the Dream Factory. Clay talks to his mother and his dad, and they're basically just like, yeah, he's got fucking dream issues. His birthday's coming up. We'll get him a birthday present. We'll get him these dreams. So they go to the Dream Factory. It's super amazing and magical. Imagine, if you will, that you're watching the movie Total Recall, and they go into Recall, and you can see all the magical things that are there where they sell you memories.
Oh, yeah.
And then that'll save me the trouble of having to read R.L. Stine's descriptions. They're very different. It's not the same thing. But I want you to do the work here. Imagine Total Recall. Sure. So he's going in there. He's going to buy a dream. And the only person working there that day is Bernard, who goes by Mr. B, which sounds like bullshit the moment you get to the point where he's like, it's my first day here. And then it's like, who the fuck calls you Mr. B, Bernard? No one.
Yeah. Nobody's calling you that on your first day.
And Bernard's a nightmare. Like, he's just doing shit like, forgets the password for the computer to log in. And he's like, I should have written that down. It's like, Bernard, no, that's not, you shouldn't write the password down. Just constantly fucking shit up, like the whole time they're there, which lets you know something's gonna go wrong, and it's gonna be Bernard's fault. When he does shit like, Clay says, I'd like to go to Mars, maybe. That sounds like a lot of fun. And, like, let's do a Martian adventure. Mr. B's like, all right, cool. And goes into the back, comes back out with goddamn Martian Monsters Mash. And Clay's like, I'm here to get away from nightmares. I don't want this fucking Martian Monster Mash bullshit. Get that out of here, buddy. Give me that vacation. It's great. Honestly, you should read the story just for the whole Clay thing. I just didn't want to read it because I'm reading a lot from this one very short story already. And then you can get a 10-minute dream or 20-minute dream. Those are your options. It's by the minute. And Clay's just like, please, Ma, Dad, can I get 20-minute dream? And they're like, fine, it's your birthday. You get the feeling it's fucking pricey, bro. Like, this is like a bicycle present or some shit like that. But there's the psychological damage that their child is suffering from dream trauma is worth it to them. So they're going to try to fix it. What do you want?
So RL doesn't like propose a price on these dreams? You're just
No, he's very smart. He keeps that vague because that'll be outdated even faster than him saying a Nintendo machine or whatever the fuck he's been saying. So he gets home, and there's 3 rules, though. There's 3 fucking rules. You can only watch it once. You gotta watch the whole thing, and you gotta hold on to this fucking dream machine the whole time. Like, you go to sleep holding it, and then it puts the dreams in your head. Seems like, could you strap it on? Because I feel like I'm gonna drop that thing, but whatever.
Why hold it? Yeah, I've been waking up because I sometimes I'll sleep and I'll make my hand a fist and then I'll sleep on it. I've been waking up with like arthritis.
Ooh.
I don't want to be gripping anything at night.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Especially if you want one of those adult dreams. But, so Clay, he's wicked excited. He does the fucking kid thing where he's like, I can't fall asleep. It's going to be Santa Claus. It's going to be here soon. And he's just like, falling asleep with the machine. Wakes up in the middle of his dream. Not in the middle, it starts. They're not going to cheat him out of, like, his 20 minutes. Wakes up on Mars. He's super excited. It's a little eerie. He's alone on this planet. And, he's just fucking excited. He's like, it's nice to have a normal walking around. It's a walking sim. He likes a walking sim. Like, that's what he wants tonight. He wants a walking sim. But then, fucking, he hears, like, and this big-ass motherfucker comes, like, just running across the red sands of Mars at him. He's like, what the fuck? And he books it. He's just, like, runs. Clay's just like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Let's go. So he goes into a cave, and he's hiding in there, and he's just like, damn! Fucking Mr. B. Bernard, what the fuck did you fuck up? Because, as they were leaving, Bernard even gets his name wrong. He's like, have a good dream, Chris! He's like, it's Clay! It's fucking Clay, Bernard!
Oh, no. That's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign. I've got one final read. This is a real short story. So he's inside the cave, creatures breaking in, and then it stops, and he's like, oh. Clay let out a long whoosh of air. That dude Bernard in the store, he muttered, shaking his head. Clay's voice echoed against the cave walls. You messed up. You mean the wrong fucking dream. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention, the dream doohickey is with him in the dream. He's still carrying it around in the dream, too, so he can still see it. He suddenly realized he says it here, too. He suddenly realized he was still gripping the dream player in his hand. He raised it close, squinting to read the name on the side, because he wants to see if it's if it's the right dream or not. Well, it's too dark to read, and Clay didn't want to risk moving into the light. What the pig-faced monster is waiting out there? I know he gave me the wrong dream, Clay told himself. This is Martian Monster Mash. Not what I wanted. I told him I didn't want it, but I totally messed up. A shrill cry from deeper in the cave made him nearly drop the player. Ee! 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 High-pitched like the screech of a bat. Spot on. Ee! 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 No, it's coming closer. He wasn't alone in the cave. Of course he wasn't alone. This was a monster dream, not a peaceful dream of walking on Mars. How much time is left, he wondered. It must be nearing 20 minutes. The dream must nearly be over. If I can manage to survive another minute or two. Bending low under the cave ceiling, Clay moved toward the light at the opening. Ee! Ee! The shrill screech followed him. The beast was coming closer. Closer. He stepped into the light and raised the player to his face. How much time is left in the dream? He read the small print on the side of the player. Then he opened his mouth in a long, angry shriek. That fucking Bernard! He messed up! How could he do this? He messed up again! His hand trembling, Clay held the player close and read it one more time. Length of dream, 20 years.
Oh, no. His poor parents have to see him in a coma.
Yeah, it's a real rough one.
I dig it, though. I like it.
Yeah, I liked it, too. It was a real simple, quick and clean, like Twilight Zoner, you know?
Yeah.
And because I wasn't even paying attention to length of
Zone.
time.
That's a good way
I was so focused on, like, everything else. I wasn't even being like, oh, he's going to be stuck in this dream for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, you're right. I was waiting for, like, the monster scare. But the 20 years, man, our guy still got it. Grandpa still got it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it 5 dream Martians out of 7 potential dream Martians.
I was going to give
I think a 5 out of 7 feels right.
I was going to give it 18 out of 20 dream minutes.
Oh, okay.
Not quite a full-length dream, but still a lot of fun.
Still a lot of fun, yeah. Yeah. It was one of those, it was a territory he doesn't venture into often.
Yeah, other than some, like, familiar stuff like the weird store or whatever. Yeah. I love that parents need to be there. You can't just fucking buy a dream. That's crazy. It's not like you're asking to swap your body with an animal.
Yeah, keep bringing it up.
I will.
All right. We got Uno Mas to round us out here.
No Mas.
Can we top I'm Not Becca? Can we approach the highs of the Dream Factory? Or will we stoop into the utter depths of the Bad Luck King? Or the Stray Dog, for that matter. Sorry, Spongy. R.L. Stine writes, this is Eddie the Flash. R.L. Stine writes, people always ask me what books I try to do a Dylan. I'm close, but I'm not going to try very hard. This is my version. People always ask me what books I read when I was a kid. The truth is, I didn't read books. I read shampoo bottles and shoe tongues. Sometimes I'd read a street sign if it was right in front of me. But I read mostly comic books. My friends and I were comic book freaks. We carried around big stacks of them. We read them and we reread them because we only had the 2. Then we would trade them with one another, just me and him back and forth, the same 2 comic books. A lot of this I had made up on my own.
I know.
In the summertime, we would sit in the shade of a big oak tree in my front yard and read our comic books for hours. They were hard to read. The words were so big. In the 4th grade, I decided I'd draw my own comics because I was tired of trying to read them. I created a funny superhero named Super Stooge, but I spelled Super S-O-O-P-E-R because I was not very smart. And I drew little comic books about him. When I showed the comics to my friends, they all told me how awful they were. And they said, my God, you don't even know how to spell super. And also I couldn't draw. I guess that's why I became a writer. Here's a story about a boy who can draw and create his own superhero.
I love the... Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. What was I talking about?
Hell. Okay. So we got a bit of a superhero story for us here. Occasionally he'll throw one at us. Was it the mutant?
Attack of the
mutant one? Attack of the Mutant. That was a pretty fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
That was more funny than fun, but it was a good time.
Oh, no, it was more funny than scary. It was still fun.
That's what I meant. Yeah. It was definitely fun. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. We got Eddie Rogan. His twin sister is named Roz Rogan. We got some twins. You can't go too far around a stack of R.L. Stine stories and not get a set of twins out of there.
I'm just glad their names are different.
Roz is interesting. Yeah, Eddie, he'll throw an Eddie at you.
Oh, yeah. But I'm glad it's not like Roz and Ross Rogan.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that is true. You expect him to get closer names with the twins, but he went Eddie.
I did actually know a pair of identical twins in high school called Stacy and Tracy. And I wonder about them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that kind of naming convention means that you're expecting one to be a spare.
Kinda. Yeah, they're not, and they're less individuals, and you need to try to individualize these people. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. You can do whatever you want. They're your twins. Anyway, Roz Rogan.
No.
Well, within the limits of the law. Roz Rogan gives Eddie a hard time about liking superheroes. Her brother likes them, and she thinks that's just the goofiest thing. Because he reads the comics. He plays all the video games, watches all the movies. And,
oh, God.
Not to mention,
movies are garbage.
They're too pure. And, I need something gritty. That's why we like the Penguin. And he's working on his third graphic novel for his own superhero that he has dubbed Parallel Man.
I'm going to be honest with you. I heard the name for Parallel Man. I was like, boy, I can't wait to hear the explanation for this one. And then I heard the explanation is like, boy, that's very stupid.
Yeah, it kind of met my expectations for how dumb it was going to be, which I had to appreciate. Which makes me think it's intentional, but what do I know? Parallel Man. Now, Eddie also pretends to be a superhero, calls himself Eddie the Flash on occasion. All right? Because he's big into him. Eddie the Flash. Roz really wants Eddie to come to her basketball game. Come watch my basketball game, brother. Come on. But Eddie's like, she doesn't even start. She barely plays. She comes on the floor at the very end for a minute.
She's a bench warmer who only comes out in the last quarter. I love that little bit of I feel like R.L. Stine cares way more about sports than he lets on in the Goosebumps books. He's like, I gotta dial that back. He's just like, yeah, Roz is fucking second stringer. Who's a fuck? I love the gag later in the story too. I'll let you get there.
Okay. Yeah, so Eddie doesn't want to go for two reasons. One, because it's not very exciting. His sister doesn't even play all that much. It's not even about supporting her. He would do it if she played. He's actually more focused on working on Parallel Man in the graphic novel because Parallel Man's having a showdown with the sewer rat. All right? And Roz is like, you are the worst, brother. You would rather draw sewer rat than come see your sis. But I'm gonna tell you all about Parallel Man here. A lot of superheroes get their powers from a lab accident. Something goes wrong and they are blasted by radiation and come out as superheroes. I didn't want to do that. I made it a gym accident. My character, Harrison Maloney, is a normal guy, but he gets trapped in a weight machine and it falls on him. And after he is rescued, he discovers he can rise up in the air and go parallel to the ground whenever he wants to. When he's parallel, he can move through the air, so actually, he can fly. And when he's in a fight, no one expects him to suddenly go parallel. So he always wins.
I love the idea that, like, no one expects him to fall straight on his face. It's like, that's until like the next fight, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I love the idea, like, no one expects him to do this. It's like, yeah, that's a good point. That's a fucking weird ass.
It reminds me so much when I was in high school, me and this other kid, his name was actually Dylan, but he spelled it wrong. It was Dillon.
Oh, God, stop.
Yeah, he and I, we would goof off a lot, and a lot of, we enjoyed playing basketball in gym, but whenever the jocks wanted to, like, team up against us.
You were a jock.
Barely.
You were on the fucking baseball team.
And football. But I wasn't very good at basketball, so oftentimes I was on the other end of the game there. But he and I, to kind of drag them down a little bit, we would play what we called fetal defense. And if someone dribbled towards you, you just fell onto the ground to the fetal position, but you had to scream fetal defense first so that the other person was also do it. So he would scream fetal defense, and then we'd both have to jump down and get the fetal position and trip whoever was guarding us, or we were guarding. It was great. We only had to run laps about 30 times from the gym teacher for not participating appropriately with basketball. Fetal defense!
How much is... So 30 laps... was 30 laps... I'm sorry. Did you have to run 30 laps total, or is 30 laps per time you did that?
I think it was like, give me 5 laps, I think was the thing. And so we would have to do that a number of times.
I feel like 4 laps or 5 laps in my gym was like half a mile.
Yeah.
In high school. It's not a short amount.
No, it was enough to like annoy you because you didn't want to
make you sad. Yeah.
But you can't. That's the thing about fetal defense, man. It's all spirit. You couldn't break us. What was that? I was reading something good. Yep. Here. Okay. Yep. When he's parallel. Said that already. Okay. With Roz away at her game, the house was quiet. Was I supposed to read this part? Page 1. When he's parallel. Nope. Already read that part. Never mind. So he's setting up the scene in his graphic novel where Sewer Rat thinks he's safe in the sewer, right? Because it's a tight, narrow chasm of tunnels, and he's snug in there, and he thinks that Parallel Man can't get down in there, all right? But guess what? Parallel Man can, okay? Because he can go parallel and get down in them tubes. 2 of his classmates catch him working on this at school, and boy, do they make fun of how lame Parallel Man is. They're like, Jesus Christ, Eddie, what are you thinking? And Eddie's like, you won't be laughing one day when I have graphic novels, a movie tie-in, merch, video games, Poonanner, or whatever Dylan had said earlier in that fun accent. And they agree. They're like, yeah, you're right. We won't laugh at you then. I really like that part. The bullies being like, no, you're right, Eddie. When you make movies with Sewer Rat, we will stop laughing at you.
My favorite part was when she's like, missed it. I got a 3-pointer at the buzzer. He's like, that's really good. How many points have you gotten this season so far? And he's like, 3, but I'm on a streak.
I'm on a streak. Yeah, it's fun.
I like Roz for the brief moments that we see her as normal Roz.
Yeah.
I forget we do see her later.
Well, here we see Roz. She's encouraging Eddie to go to the store with her and her friend Melba, because it's Eddie and Roz's mom's birthday, and they need to get her something. And the mom loves beads, and so Roz is like, we gotta head to the mall. We gotta go to Beads and stuff, okay? Because they got beads. And then there might be some other stuff there we can look at. And on the way, Eddie, he swears to God he saw a guy in a purple cape. Which, by the way, Parallel Man dons a purple cape. But he swears he sees a guy in a purple cape, but then no one else did. Everyone else is like, dude, are you goofing with us right now, or are you just stupid? You goofing or stupid? You goofing? What's wrong with you? Inside the store, Eddie then glimpses Parallel Man in a mirror, cape and all. And he turns around real quick, but boom, no one was there. Ooh, kind of spooky. What's going on? But he doesn't tell the others because he's like, maybe I'm cracking, man. Maybe I'm losing it. They've already made fun of me enough. Maybe I shouldn't bring it up again. But he couldn't concentrate on his comics when he got home because he's like, dude, I swear to God, I saw Parallel Man inside the mall. Wow, dude. He's like, what's next, man? Am I going to run into Sewer Rat on my way to school? Yep. Yeah, he sure does. About halfway to school, Parallel Man then steps out from behind a tree, which he was parallel to. And Eddie,
Stop.
Come on, he wasn't perpendicular.
And perpendicular to the ground, so not very strong at that point.
Eddie freaks out at him. He's like, you can't be here, Parallel Man. I drew you. You go in my book. You don't supposed to hang around my trees. And he's like, am I imagining things? Am I ookie dookie? What's happening? The world starts to spin and he becomes dizzy. Oh, maybe it is an overdose. So Parallel Man then threatens to destroy Eddie. He's like, I'll kill you, Eddie. And Eddie's like, yo, brother, why? I created you. What's going on? If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have life. Or whatever this is. And Parallel Man's like, listen, bud, I know who you work for, Eddie. I know who you work for. And Eddie's like, nah, I created, you're not even real. What do you mean, who do I work for? And Parallel Man leans in close and says, I love this shit, dude. Parallel Man leans into Eddie and he goes, I am real. Deal with it.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with your lack of belief. I'm just going to punch you in the face.
I am real.
Then we'll see who believes.
Deal with it. That's what I want Bigfoot to say when he's finally captured. I am real. Deal with it.
Just deal with it.
But Parallel Man thinks Eddie works for Sewer Rat. And he's like, I know you work for Sewer Rat. Caught you working on him. Eddie's like, listen, I did create Sewer Rat. You're right. But we are not in cahoots. I mean, I barely know the guy. Just drew him. Like, we don't have a relationship like me and you do, Parallel Man. I love you, man. So I'm going to read you a little bit more here because I can tell the crowd, the audience is like, this is sillier than shit. But let me bring you back down. Parallel Man lowered his glove to my shoulder and squeezed it hard. Meet me at the sewer under Ardmore Place at 7 tonight, he said in a harsh whisper. Bring your buddy Sewer Rat. We'll see who creates whom and who survives. No, listen to me, I pleaded. If you're not there, I'll come get you, he said. Then he lifted his feet off the ground. He went parallel and flew away. Oh, goddamn, R.L. Stine, what have you done?
I fucking can't. I can't. He just goes parallel. Also love that it's just like he goes parallel.
Goes parallel.
Like that's a thing.
Just parallel, dude. Like you stand up, you're perpendicular, but whoop, you parallel. You're like a tabletop without legs. So after school, Eddie tries to convince Roz and Melba. He's like, listen, you're not going to believe this, but you know those guys I draw? Well, one of them threatened me and said that if I didn't bring the other one downtown to Ardmore, he was going to murder me and my family. And they're like, you are dumb. No, that's so stupid. Bugs Bunny's real too, I guess, they say. They tell him, they're like, well, fine, Eddie, if this is really bothering you, why don't you just go delete P-Man? I said P-Man in my notes, Parallel Man. Why don't you just go delete him? And Eddie's like, no, I worked too hard on him. They're like, didn't he just threaten to kill you? He's like, yeah, but all the work. I mean, my God. 3 novels, guys. Come on. Eventually, they're like, all right, we're just going to ignore you because obviously you're playing a goof. And then he's like, all right, no one believes me. I'm stressed out. I'm going to go pace in my room. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go pace in my room, back and forth, back and forth. And while he's pacing, he decides, you know what? I think my best course of action? Just to stay locked in my room. That way I can't. But then about that point, the door burst open and he flies backwards to the ground. And it was actually,
Oh, no.
Who was it? Parallel Man? Oh, was it Sewer Rat? Oh, it was Roz. His own sister.
What the fuck?
Kicked in the door. But she was dressed in a golden costume. And she says her name is Raina the Golden. and possessed the power of the sun, which is a lot of power. If you know anything about the cosmos, very powerful ball of fire, that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Eddie, rightfully confused. He's like, wait, what in the hell? What in the hell? And she drags him out toward the meetup place with Parallel Man. Eddie doesn't even have to go fetch Sewer for this meeting. Sewer shows up on his own, just as Eddie had drawn him. And Eddie's like, hey, Sewer, I don't know if you know this, because I tried to tell Parallel Man and he wasn't listening, but you are not real. I just want you to know that. You're not real. You're made up. Okay, so maybe piss off. And Sewer Rat's like, or maybe, I don't know, what, a rat laugh. And Rena says that Eddie should ready himself to meet his doom.
Oh, no.
Eddie says, fine, but you know what? Parallel Man, the hero I created, will destroy you both. You, Rena, and you, Sewer Rat, you're going down. But just then, Parallel Man appears, hovering in the air, and he's like, guess what, Eddie? Me and Sewer Rat made a deal. All right.
Fuck.
Bet you didn't draw that, you piece of shit. We made a deal. We got together, made a deal. They decided they wanted to be free. All right. We don't want Eddie controlling our lives anymore with his pencil and his erasers and his colored pencils and his other pencils and his pens. Okay. We don't want that anymore in the paper. We don't want any of that. So they drag Eddie to the mouth of the sewer and drop him in. Bloop. And his sister, Roz, as Rena, says, nice knowing you, Eddie. And Parallel Man pushes him down the drain. Perpendicular. I guess he was parallel with the walls of the drain.
Yeah.
Eddie lands, boom, splat, probably in various detritus and excrement in the sewer. And then I'm going to...
I mean, they do actually describe how smelly the sewer is, which I think you're about to read, actually.
Maybe, yeah. If not, I'll find it. Yeah, it's... Oh, yeah, let me read this. Yeah, this is great. I hit the bottom with a high splash. I landed on my back, and the cold sewer water washed over me. Yuck. I started to gag from the putrid smell. I held my breath as I staggered to my feet. This is my favorite part. The thick, lumpy, brown water was nearly up to my knees.
Ugh.
Let me out of here, I screamed up to the street. Let me out. I jumped when I saw something swimming in the dark water. Was it a rat? Was it a turd? Let me out, I cried. And then Parallel Man and Sewer Rat were standing beside me. Sewer Rat grabbed me by the shoulders. Time for you to take a swim. He growled. That's how he growls. He growled. No, please, I begged. He started to push me down into that thick brown water I described earlier, and I dropped to my knees, which was a bad idea because it was already up to my knees. And the cold water soaked through my clothes, which is poopy. Please, I begged. Then, to my surprise...
I feel like sewer water would be uncomfortably warm, actually.
Right? Like, at the lukewarm at best.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be happy about it. You'd be like, I'd rather this water was cold. I don't like that it's warm.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it smells worse now.
It smells worse, and it feels more fresh. Please, I begged. Then, to my surprise, someone shouted from the street up above us. Stop! Who was it? Bring him up! A booming voice called down. Bring him up here now! Sewer Rat and Parallel Man grabbed my elbows and hoisted me out of the sewer. They quickly followed, and we stared at the young man standing in front of us in the street. He was tall and long hair, dressed in faded jeans and a t-shirt with a brown vest over it. Enough, he said. That's enough. Enough, I said. Enough, he repeated. This story isn't working. I'm going to stop it here. Huh? My mouth dropped open. Who are you? I cried. Devin Crosby, he replied. He says, wait, it's odd that my last name's Crosby and I can barely say that word, but that's just how it works sometimes. I write this comic book, and I draw it. Comic book? Parallel Man said. What comic book? It's called Eddie Rogan Adventures, Crosby replied. I've been writing it for 3 years. He turned to me. I created you, Eddie. I created all of you. I uttered a cry. I thought my head would explode. What do you mean? I shouted. Do you mean I'm not real? Of course you're not real, he said. None of you characters are real. I dreamed you all up. In the Dream Factory from the last story. We all stared at him in shock. No one said a word.
But this story's too confusing, Crosby said. It doesn't hold together. I can't make any sense of it. It doesn't follow.
So, what are you going to do? I asked.
I have no choice,
Crosby replied.
I'm going down to the bottom of my computer screen and I'm going to write the end.
Which I feel is how R.L. Stine manages a lot of his books. He's like, is it confusing? Yes, the end. Got it. All right.
Score.
Boom.
So wait, what's after that, though?
Bob.
No, what's after that, though?
Bob?
Oh, so it ends. So it ends with the writer saying,
Yeah.
the end.
The end. Bob.
I gotcha. I feel like this is the weakest of this section, but I still loved it more than any of the stories we read last time.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I think it has that trademark R.L. Stine goofiness where we get Parallel Man, and he's just having fun, making fun of superheroes, and his big twist the whole time was that his sister was in on it, completely unexplained. I guess it is explained at the end because it's all made up, but like it falls off the rails and becomes so meta at the end where you can literally hear R.L. Stine being like, is this confusing enough? All right, the end. And it's like,
yes.
I appreciate that.
I feel like he was like, I'm going to make this worse.
He kind of seemed like he
like
intentionally...
the whole Raina thing or Roz becoming Raina. Like that just, where the fuck? And doesn't fit at all. But that's the point. Yeah, I'm fine with, I would be mad if that's how a Goosebumps ended, but a short story's fine. And as far as I'm aware, this is the only time he's done this, which is astonishing. Because I feel like there's a lot of times he could have just said, fuck it. The end.
Yep.
But I would, okay. I'm going to jump right to the rating of this.
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like this story deserves as much conversation as the ending deserved R.L. Stine's thought. So none. I would give this 6 out of 10 rat henchmen.
Oh, a nice rat henchman.
Yeah. Just little fat rats. Just like
Did you say 6 out of 10?
If you've ever seen Tim Burton's Batman Returns. Yeah, 6 out of 10. If you've ever seen Tim Burton's Batman Returns and the penguins that had like little rocket launchers and metal caps on their heads and stuff, imagine rats like that. Like just normal sized rats with like little tiny jackets, maybe little leather jackets that had like SR on the back of them. And they're just like, but they don't do anything. They're literally just rats wearing jackets.
I do like that.
6 of those.
It feels very,
10.
Rats of Nim. Okay.
One of them has a mohawk.
Oh,
like a little mohawk has been like glued onto its head. She's like, boop.
That I like. That I like.
And yes, I heard that terrible joke you made. Go fuck yourself.
What did I?
Of rats in that. Get out of here. No, fuck off. What's your rating?
You obviously have been building miniatures, given your affinity for gluing mohawks onto things.
Yes.
I'm going to give it, because I think we agreed this was better than the best of the last batch, even though it's not our favorite of this batch. I'm going to give it specifically a 3.1 to put it above the 3 that I gave Full Moon Sleepover Party. 3.1 lumpy brown sewer turds out of 7.
Floaters. Floaters, it's kind of upsetting that floaters can refer to a murdered human body and a water feature. Also turds. Like, I feel like that's upsetting. And we should look into that as a society, that maybe we should have 2 different terms for that.
I agree with you. 100%.
Wow. I love this very colorful demonstration of last week or last episode's.
Yep.
Travis has done a nice little breakdown of how we rated these 10 stories. It's striking.
It is. Let's just take it from the bottom. We have tied in last place with around 15.5%. If you combine my rating with Dylan's rating and we do an average,
Our average, yeah.
Yeah, coming in, I guess, tied at 9th place would be The Stray Dog and The Treehouse. Now, The Treehouse, I really liked Edna cracking those walnuts. I'll give credit where it's due. Edna stole the show, but there wasn't much of a show to steal, unfortunately. And The Stray Dog just bummed me out. I'm sorry, Spongy. I didn't prefer that one. Maybe my perspective's a little off. Maybe another day I would have liked it more, but it didn't hit for me this time.
Oh, am I taking the next one? What's the next one? The next one is The Bad Luck King, which I feel like I liked more.
You did. Yeah.
No, The Bad Luck King. I think I liked that one more than you did, even after I read it myself. I'm still on with 40%, I guess.
That was the highest book you rated of the last batch.
I'm going to be honest, sometimes when I'm like fumbling around for numbers and shit, that's why like this time I've made it much easier on myself. I'm not good with numbers. I was a banker for 10 years. But like, yeah, maybe 40% is higher than I would have if I was thinking about it properly, but I still think I was 7% seems a bit low.
I hated it. I don't know what it was.
You really did.
Ugh. It was the worst thing he's ever done.
There was enough stuff in the house that made me think of like Aunt Catherine and some classic Goosebumps stuff that made me smile enough that I was able to. I think that's why I like that one.
Yeah, it had a bit of a vibe
out of last time.
Yeah,
yeah, because the other ones are just fucking barely stories.
Yeah, 28 fish food or 28%, which would be I guess what 9th, 8th, 7th.
Fish food. Yeah,
7th place would be fish food, and that's just big fish. It's just big fish. It just ends on big fish. It's not. What the hell?
I mean, they do a lot, but it's like not explained why. Like again, it feels like it's the first half of a Goosebumps book, and we're missing the finale.
Yeah. It's one of those, and I'm sure you could say this about most of them, but it's like if there was a little more, maybe something could have been done with it, but it's truncated so badly that you're like, I don't know, I wasn't that into it. So that was in 7th place. And so next would be
Full Moon Sleepover Party, excuse me.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty strong. That was the one I rated the highest of the last batch. I thought that one was all right.
Yeah, I really liked the writing style of it and aspects of it, but it ended up being exactly what it said on the tin, which makes it less interesting to me.
Yeah, 100%. And that just so happens to be all 5 books from last episode, all falling into the bottom half of our rankings. And so now we're moving into this half of the book, and our 5th favorite combined was the one we just read, Eddie the Flash. It was kind of funny. It was goofy. It ended in a meta way that I think was a good way to end a Tingler, and also it just really felt, this isn't a mark of a good writer at all, but I also can appreciate R.L. Stine breaking the fourth wall and being like, "Are we done here?" and then just shutting the book. So I'll give it props for that.
I just liked him admitting it once. That this is how it's just like, fuck it, we're done.
Yeah, I did like that.
Then the next one, I think mainly because I really upped it a little bit higher than maybe it would have ended up, is Oops.
Yeah. Hey, Oops was
the wizard Morgan and his young apprentice Nathan. I like that Nathan was much better at magic than Morgan, but still dog shit at it. Like fucking accidentally turning the king into a frog. Do you think he got burned to the stake immediately after that? They're like, we need to at least see if we can turn the king back before we burn him at the stake.
And I do. He doesn't do it a lot, and I get why, because we've also kind of critiqued on him on that. Like if he takes us out of typical, I don't know,
suburbia or urban children,
that it becomes less relatable, and then it's kind of hard to like.
Let's go to the mummy's tombs. Let's not.
But I occasionally do like it when he goes to a different time and place. Even if if you think about Cam Nightmare, where it was like on an alien planet, we didn't know that for a while, but that still was one of my favorite stories. So it doesn't always have to be. So yeah,
and because that one also still, because you didn't know, tapped into like a kid going to camp kind of thing. Yeah. So you still had that going for it.
True that. All right. So that was Oops. Number 3, the magic is in the hat. It was just a good time. We're having fun we got cats going inside and out of hats. We got pigeons everywhere, kids screaming.
That was a good one.
And then the kid disappears in the end, and we couldn't really make sense of the ending, but
he goes home. Fun. He's fine.
He's fine.
And then next up, in number 2, which I feel like, what is your... Yeah, I feel like this is also barely your number 2. It could have gone with Magic in the Hat. This is definitely my number 2. Was The Dream Factory, which I just enjoyed. He did catch me off guard. I wasn't expecting the length of the dream to be the catch. Because he kept talking about, like, it's got to be the wrong title. It's got to be the wrong title. He's like, well, fuck how... Even if it's a pleasant dream on Mars where there's no aliens, 20 years is a long time to spend by yourself on Mars.
No shit.
Like, that kid's going to be fucked up.
What was crazy was, like, the whole time I was kind of thinking, I'm like, yeah, this is about halfway for me. This is about a 3.5 for me. This is about... The last 3 words was what ratcheted it up. I was like, oh, fuck, 20 years!
Yeah.
So the ending really did a lot of lifting.
Well, because I feel like that's the difference between this and Full Moon Sleepover Party, where it's just like, you know the ending from the very beginning, and you're just like, I don't care how it's written, if, like, the whole time it's just like, can we just get to it? Can we get to the reveal? And now it's like, oh. I was caught off guard by the Dream Factory.
Yep. And our collective number 1, as we rated perfectly here, maybe
unanimous,
the finest of Tinglers, at least with the contrast of the first half. This volume really stuck out. I'm Not Becca. We got the cover girl, literally, in the story. She's decrepit looking and half alive, half dead with her one eye. That really helps it.
What is it they call it for like MLB The Show or something like that? The cover athlete?
Yeah.
Like Becca's the cover athlete on this one.
Pretty much, yeah. I really enjoyed getting back into the graveyards, hearing him describe a corpse is always fun. He doesn't really hold back with a lot of that. And it was a good time. It felt vintage almost. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it felt also just like an old school supernatural story. Like, I feel like I've read older stories that are similar to this concept, not necessarily the same story. So, I feel like he really tapped into something with that one.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's upsetting. It's a very upsetting story.
It kind of is, yeah. Yeah. That's one where you're left with sort of a hopeless ending. Did
he kill another child again? Technically,
kinda,
right?
Yeah, kind of. Well, but he brought one back, too, so it's kind of a...
Yeah, that's true.
No big loss. Yeah, no big loss. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this here episode. So thanks, folks, for listening. We got another Stinetingler out of the way, and we got the next season coming soon. We might do another bonus before we do that, but we got that next season's it's coming this summer. We're doing it. I think I have a lot of fun reading them, which is kind of like against the spirit of podcasting. You can't just read book. That's an audiobook. But I do think we could have some fun doing like some Patreon only like reads of things, because I do like getting into the characters and doing the thing. It's
motherfucker. Fun. We could definitely do that.
Yeah. So we might do that. If there's interest, maybe reach out and let us know.
I also am 100% that we should do an unofficial commentary for every episode of Goosebumps, the TV show from the 90s.
Oh, like a riff tracks?
Yeah, it's really easy to do those. You just watch it and record yourself while you watch it.
Yeah.
And then you're done.
That could also be a Patreon thing if we don't want to like post that for
download a commentary.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Doctor Who podcasts, or listened to a lot of Doctor Who podcasts that would do commentaries for Doctor Who shows. And they did they fucking raised money saying, we'll do a commentary for a fucking story or whatever. So,
wow.
We could do that. Let us know if you'd like to hear us do like a commentary riff tracks for a Goosebumps episode.
Let us know. Here. You can do that by reaching out to us on Blue Sky at Say Cheese and Pod. Spongy did it. You can do it. What's your excuse? You could also email the show. If your fingers are nice and limber, you can type in We Got Goosebumps Podcast at gmail.com into your email client. Send us an email. We'd be happy to receive that. And you can also support us on Patreon, which is where we've just made these plans sort of half-assly here, semi-live for you. I could edit it. I might leave it in if I like it. Patreon.com/polykill, where you can find multiple things, new episodes that are edited early out there, ready to go before you get a hold of them, and all kinds of other cool things. So go check that out. All right, folks. Well, thank you. We'll catch you next time, and keep on bumping it. What the fuck?
Keep locking the medicine
Why
cabinets.
did I say that?
Keep on bumping it?
Keep
What's wrong
bumping
with
it.
you?
Uh,
Keep bumping it.
Keep bump-
Who's it?
I don't know. I'm so sorry.